And right now, 71 degrees in Powder Springs. You're at 72 in Woodstock, another 72 for Decatur. More news at 10 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
WSB is your home of the dog.
Lobs it up, caught by Humphries.
Tune in tomorrow as number 5 Georgia faces off with the 17th ranked Crimson Tide.
30, 20, far sideline, 10.
Pre-game coverage starts tomorrow afternoon at 3:30.
Sideline.
Kickoff at 7:30.
Pylon.
Only on your home of the dogs, 95.5 WSB.
Touchdown! Touchdown!
Brought to you in part by Hoffman Financial Group, official partner of the Georgia Bulldogs.
I don't know. I know what's going on because I read the papers just like you do, right? So I don't know. Do you have anything to say about that?
President Trump, a couple of big issues. Pete Hegseth calling all the generals up for a big meeting, and the indictment of James Comey. Will continue our team coverage. Plus, updating a big local story in 2 minutes on the Mark Arum Show.
Those wire shelves in your closet are just a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. Dave Baker for Artisan Custom Closets. At Artisan, we see it all the time. The wire shelves come crashing down. Clothes, shoes, bags are everywhere. It's a disaster zone. Save yourself before this happens to you. With a custom, spacious closet from Artisan, you'll never have to look at that clutter again. Your shoes, bags, clothes, accessories, all neatly organized and designed to stay that way. ArtisanCustomClosets.com.
Join renowned astrophysicist Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson for This Just In, latest discoveries in the universe, at the Fox Theater Sunday, October 5th at 4 p.m. The title says it all. Join Neil deGrasse Tyson as he explores discoveries from the past 2 or 3 years of cosmic research with topics handpicked for their impact on science and the public's fascination with this ever-moving frontier. Don't miss This Just In, latest discoveries in the universe with Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Sunday, October 5th. Tickets available at foxtheater.org.
Belinda here with another satisfied patient with a great story to tell you about Atlanta Vision Institute. Lisa had the laser optics procedure. Why did you choose Atlanta Vision Institute?
Well, I'd been wearing contacts or glasses for the last 50 years and decided one day that I'd had enough. I have an active lifestyle and the glasses just were getting in the way.
Now, after the procedure with Dr. Ashraf at Atlanta Vision Institute, what were the results like?
It was amazing. I could see the highway signs from far away, and I was able to thread the needle on my sewing machine without any help.
Nobody can do that. That's amazing. Folks, if you feel like you're at your wit's end with your vision, why don't you go see Dr. Ashraf at Atlanta Vision Institute? Go to 2020atlanta.com and see if you're a candidate for the laser optics procedure. Go to 2020atlanta.com.
9:37 on this extremely busy Newsday Friday. Welcome back, friends. Mark Arum and crew with you till noon. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, legal analyst Thane Rosenbaum is going to join us, the latest on the Comey indictment. But I want to tackle a big local story that popped right after we got off the air yesterday. The Atlanta airport is going to miss out on tens of millions in federal grants. Why is that happening? She broke the story yesterday for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Joins us live on the Mark Arum Show. Emma Hurt. Emma, good morning. As always, thanks for your time.
Hey, good morning, Mark.
How much money are we talking, and why is the world's busiest airport losing these funds?
Yeah, so we're talking $57 million for the fiscal year. About $38 million of that, we understand, is permanently lost. The remainder can be reapplied for next year. But as to why, I mean, it really roots back to the beginning of the Trump administration. Back in January, President Trump signed an executive order essentially requiring that anyone that works with the federal government or receives federal funding vows in their contracts not to operate any, quote, DEI programs. And that was inserted into contract language across the country for Department of Transportation funding and for the Atlanta airport. So for its general FAA funding that it had already applied for and won, it was now being faced with having to sign that promise. And as we know, the city does maintain inclusion programs and minority contracting programs. And what we learned is through correspondence with the FAA and the airport said it could not sign that language. And the FAA said, okay, then you don't get your money.
Did we get clarification from the airport why they couldn't get rid of that DEI language that was already in existing contracts?
So, based on my reporting on this seems like an active situation. The mayor told me last week they were actively considering what to do with their programs and if they did need to change them in order to continue receiving federal funding, because let's be clear, this is not just the airport. The airport is run by the city. And so all city programs, but also all city funding across the federal government is on the line here. That includes Beltline expansion. Atlanta Housing Authority dollars come from the federal government. So it seems that the airport leadership made this decision over the summer before the mayor's office has made any decisions about the rest of its programs. But more federal funding continues to be on the line if these programs aren't adjusted and if race and gender considerations aren't removed from them.
So this $57 million could just be the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the city of Atlanta, which I would assume still has a lot of DEI language in a lot of their programs.
That's correct. Yeah, it could be the tip of the iceberg, but I will say, based on what the mayor said last week, they are actively thinking about that. And based on the statement we received yesterday, they said they feel confident they will be eligible for federal funds in the future. And so this is very much something we're still watching for.
Interesting. Emma, that $57 million that's lost for this fiscal year, what would that money or what was that money earmarked for at the world's busiest airport?
Yeah, range of programs, including taxiway pavement replacement, help, restroom rehabilitation. They're, as we know, redoing almost all the restrooms across the airport right now. Several of its low emissions and sustainability grants. But, the city points out that this is 10% of federal funding represents 10% of its capital program in the next few years. Many of us would still say that's a lot. If you told me I was losing 10% of my revenue, it would be a problem. I think.
Doubt. Now, last question for you, Emma. The behemoth, as we all know at Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International, is hometown airline Delta Airlines. Have they commented on this at all?
They have declined to comment, but it is true that when the city said to us, they intend to find ways to make up this funding. Delta and airlines, and in one way or another, whether it's through fees paid per passenger, are a large way that airports are able to pay for things. Delta has helped funded every major construction project, I think, at the airport. And would expect to continue to be so. So they did not comment, but it is very much a relevant story for them as well.
Massive story, not just at the airport. We'll see what other funding the city of Atlanta could lose. Emma Hurt, Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Emma, thanks for your time. Have a great weekend, my friend.
Thank you, Mark. You too.
There you go. Yeah, I wonder, next week we'll go in depth on that. Because, I'm sure there's a lot of DEI language that was already in contracts that the city of Atlanta has in place. Would it cost more to breach those contracts or just lose the federal funding? Really big, important story there. All right, continue our team coverage of the James Comey indictment. I played the audio last segment from September 30th, 2020 between Ted Cruz and the former FBI director. James Comey has posted a social media video responding to the indictment. Let's listen to what Comey had to say.
My family and I have known for years that there are costs to standing up to Donald Trump. But we couldn't imagine ourselves living any other way. We will not live on our knees, and you shouldn't either. Somebody that I love dearly recently said that fear is the tool of a tyrant, and she's right. But I'm not afraid, and I hope you're not either. I hope instead you are engaged, you are paying attention, and you will vote like your beloved country depends upon it. Which it does. My heart is broken for the Department of Justice, but I have great confidence in the federal judicial system, and I'm innocent. So let's have a trial and keep the faith.
Let's have a trial. Continue our team coverage. CBS News legal analyst Thane Rosenbaum. Sounds like Comey's confident and he wants to go to trial, Thane.
Marky, doesn't that sound like he just said, bring it?
Yeah, bring it on. All right, so Just, there was only a couple days left before the statute of limitations ran out on the charges that are facing the former FBI director. September 30th, 2020 was the audio from Senator Ted Cruz. Let's start with the indictment. I heard it was thin. I heard it was only 2 pages. What are the charges against the former FBI director exactly?
Pretty straightforward. That clip during that testimony with Cruz, Senator Cruz said to him, isn't it true that you leaked information to the press about what essentially was the Steele dossier and the opposition research, and that it wasn't, independent FBI test evidence? And he said, no, I never did anything like that. And McCabe, who appeared before this very similar other committees, testified, no, that's how the press learned about it. Director Comey leaked the evidence. So it's the conflict between two people who worked in the FBI even before the Mueller investigation commenced, who had contradictory evidence and obstruction of justice. What's that? Well, President Trump is saying, you weaponized the legal system against me. You turned took tens of millions of dollars of taxpayer money on some allegation that I was colluding with the Russian government to win an election, and there was no evidence showing that. The only people that got punished during the Mueller investigation were people who lied about different involvement, but the collusion was never proven. So he's saying, look, you were part of that original scheme that obstructed justice. So that is essentially the 2 charges against Comey. And it was interesting, when you think about it, Mark, we just heard Comey say, that there's a cost to going up against Donald Trump. And I think what Donald Trump is telling us, telling his attorney general for sure in a social media post in which he directed her, go after these people. They're my political enemies. He's saying there's a cost to being Donald Trump. What was the cost? 2 impeachments and 6 prosecutions in civil cases. And I spent a fortune, literally my fortune on it. I was, found liable in the civil case. I was convicted in one of the cases. And someone is going to have to answer for that weaponization. And guess what? Weaponization there is going to look like payback here. It's the same weaponization. The difference is I'm much more explicit about what I'm doing.
Thane, it seems to me that first charge could be easily proved, right? If they have McCabe, they say, hey, what did he, or is it going to be tough to prove because it's a he said situation?
Good question, Mark. It's a really good question. I think it also comes down to, the heart of, well, what was being leaked, right? A, it was improper to do so, and B, is Trump right when he says that the evidence wasn't even there? You laid a trap, with the worst thing you can possibly say, collusion with another competing government that resulted in this misinformation. But you're right that, if I was Comey and I knew there was contradictory evidence, even though as he said, she said, even though McCabe had a history of misinformation himself, that is evidence that could be interpreted as misinformation and lying to Congress.
Thane, famously, President Trump posted on Truth Social a couple of weeks ago, basically directing Pam Bondi to persecute Comey, Schiff, and Letitia James. Was that unprecedented? Is that, and it make it any more difficult for the prosecutors to go after those 3 because they were basically directed by the President of the United States to go after these 3 individuals?
It's a good point. It was during the Watergate case, way before your time, Mark, that where the President of the United States used the words political enemies. That became a term of art, right? And so it was after that, in the aftermath, all the changes that took place, there was a sort of White House policy that said that the president won't use words like that, and more importantly, won't rely on the Justice Department to respond to his political enemies. Well, guess what? Donald Trump lifted that very soon into this new administration. So as if he said, if I get reelected, I'm gonna want payback, and I don't want to have anything that prevents me from doing so. So yes, there was, as part of the post-Watergate ethical changes, policy set in place that would prevent a president from doing such a thing. For instance, remember, you really never heard President Biden talking. These cases brought against Donald Trump believes that those were weaponized and they were orchestrated by the Oval Office. He may be right, but there was no explicit direction from Biden to do this.
Biden wasn't taking credit on social media, like, ha-ha.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Here we go. Go after Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And that was because there was a policy in place not to do so. And Donald Trump lifted it, and he said, I'm going to lift it, and then I'm not going to be shameless about it. I'm going to write a social media post in which I'm directing my attorney general to work as my personal prosecutor to bring cases against my enemies.
Thane, great stuff as always, my friend. Thanks for jumping on the breaking news. Have a fantastic weekend, buddy.
You too, Mark. Thank you.
There you go. Thane Rosenbaum, legal analyst, CBS News. We'll monitor this. Any new developments, President Trump decides to weigh in, we'll let you know. Quick reminder, 5K Day Bonus Blitz, your next keyword come up around 10:12 here on the Mark Arum Show. Another chance to win $1,000. Let's go back to the traffic center, get the latest from Mark McKay.
There was a crash in the work zone. Vehicle went into the work zone, and the center median police were protecting that. Looks like they were able to get that off of the median and slowing things down on I-20 eastbound leaving 285. We'll start to see those outbound delays improve. A little slow through that DeKalb work area, anywhere between Panola Road exit 71 westbound to 285. Right lane work on the downtown connector holding you up north of the airport, 7585 northbound around Langford Parkway. And here come the delays now out of Marietta into Kennesaw with right lane construction. I-75 northbound. Right lane taken away north of Chastain Road exit 271. This report sponsored by Whole Foods Market. Save on fall favorites now through September 30th at Whole Foods Market, your headquarters for pumpkin spice delights, all the flavors of fall, and more. Smiler Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
Oh my God! The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
I just won $1,000.
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app. The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Your next chance to win is at 10 a.m.
Imagine for a second, friends, if your Wi-Fi was a lot smarter. Picture it, your phone, TV, laptop, even your fancy fridge working together to make life easier. Well, Xfinity makes that dream a reality. Hey, it's Mark Arum back with you. Devices so in sync, you'd think they're telepathic. Really smart Wi-Fi that knows when your device needs a boost, the best equipment to stream 4 games at once with Multiview, and Xfinity Mobile that gives you Wi-Fi where you need it and 5G everywhere else. That's the magic of Xfinity. It's seamlessly in tune with you. Xfinity, imagine that. I'm not going to sing Imagine song, but imagine what your life could be like with Xfinity. Amazingly fast Wi-Fi, smart Wi-Fi, so your TV, phone, laptop, even your fancy fridge all work together to make life easier. Get all the information online at Xfinity.com. Some restrictions do apply.
When you get hurt on the job, do you know what you're entitled to? Attorney John Foy does. Lost wages, medical bills, rehabilitation therapy.
You should be getting all these and more. The system doesn't make it easy, but we do.
Get the strong arm. Call Attorney John Foy and Associates.
Every day we help people get the money and benefits they deserve after they've been hurt on the job. When it comes to workers' comp, it pays to know what you're entitled to.
Call Attorney John Foy and Associates now.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Skip the hassles of a traditional home sale and sell your home quickly with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. There are no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. Selling your home is one of the biggest decisions you'll make, so who you work with matters. My friends at Mark Spain Real Estate are the most experienced real estate team in the U.S., and you can trust them to sell your home fast and for maximum profit. Find out what your guaranteed cash offer would be. There's no obligation. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
9:56 on the Mark Arum Show. News, weather, and traffic straight ahead. When we come back from news, weather, and traffic, we're going to head live to Capitol Hill. September 30th, the deadline for a government shutdown. Will a deal be made? Aaron Navarro from CBS going to be joining us live in D.C. And going to give you a keyword in the 5K Day Bonus Blitz. Another chance for you and $1,000 here on WSB. 10:35 political analyst Bill Crane's going to join us live, talking all things politics, both locally and nationally. And there's a story brewing, and we're not really sure what's going on, but Defense Secretary of War Pete Hegseth has ordered all the big generals and admirals to come to a naval base, I believe, for a big meeting. We're not sure what the purpose of it is, but we'll try to investigate that. Social medias are active at Mark Arum, MarkArum. Again, our top local stories and a chance for you and $1,000 coming up next on 95.5 WSB.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
It's the Love Your Home Minute from TE Certified. Hi, it's Chris Chandler with Josh, the local owner of TE Certified Electrical, Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. You know Josh, that's him you see jumping out of the back of their trucks. Josh, you have helped us love our homes. What have you done in your own home to help you love it?
My tankless water heater with the recirculation pump. That is by far my most favorite item.
How come?
Well, we put it in when we first moved in, and I put it in because I had 2 tanked water heaters that were sitting there heating water all day long, even though I didn't need any hot water. And then, of course, when I went to take a shower, they would run out. So I put in my tankless water heater with the recirculation pump. Now I get instant hot water right away, and I have as much as I want. What you save is space, and then, of course, you save on your power bill or gas bill moving forward. It's very satisfying when you put one in. We get phone calls, we get emails. This is amazing. This has changed my life. I actually have a hot shower, which is a very good thing to hear.
Tankless water heaters are a hot idea that can really help you love your home.
TE Certified, we love your home.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. protecting America, fighting for you. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This is Scott Slade, and if your heating and air system needs some attention to make your home comfortable for football season, call the company I've trusted for years, Ragsdale. These are great people, many with the company 10, 20, even 30 years. And if you're ready for a new Carrier home comfort system, right now you can get up to $1,700 off. Plus, you'll enjoy Ragsdale's own trusted 15-year parts and labor warranty. With over 10,000 five-star reviews, you can trust Ragsdale for plumbing, electrical, and insulation, too. Click RagsdaleAir.com or call them. Ragsdale is the name I know you can trust.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hi there, good morning. It is 10 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by TE Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is summoning top military leadership from their post around the world to a meeting next week at a Marine Corps base in Virginia. Senior National Security Correspondent Charlie D'Agata.
3 U.S. officials tell us Secretary Hegseth directed numerous generals and admirals, as well as some of their staff, to come to Quantico next week. A meeting of this size in person and on such short notice is extremely rare, if not unprecedented.
And there are around 800 general-level officers in the armed forces. It's not clear how many of them have been ordered to this meeting. Several are currently stationed in active war zones in the Middle East, Africa, and Europe. We, of course, will be watching. All right, so your weather for today, cloudy with on and off rain showers, a few thunderstorms possible, and a high around 80, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. A bridge replacement project could impact your drive on Briarcliff Road. This is near Emory University. The school says replacement of the bridge on Briarcliff over Peachtree Creek will lead to delays and single lane closures. Crews carrying out these closures daily from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. and, of course, over the overnight hours. The Georgia Department of Transportation says construction will last through the summer of 2027, so it's going to be there a while. An accident involving a school bus this morning. It shut down Highway 9 for a while. It happened just after 8 o'clock at Riverside Road in the Chattahoochee Circle area. No children on the bus at the time. No injuries reported. A power line was brought down. Crews are repairing that as we speak. All right, so does your car have one of those backup cameras? New research this morning finds that they do save lives. Jeff Gilbert says so much so that some think they should even be installed on older cars.
Backup cameras help drivers see small children. University of Texas research shows a big drop in deaths and serious injuries since those cameras were required on vehicles.
We are doing an excellent job of recognizing severe and dangerous issues related to car safety.
Author Dr. Jeanette Jolly says more children could be protected if backup cameras were also installed on older vehicles.
And while we're talking about cars, nearly 200,000 BMWs are under recall this morning because of a fire risk. The Traffic Safety Administration saying that there's a potential for a short circuit in their starters. This recall does include the 2019 through 2021 330i's, the 2019 through 2022 Z4 530i, and all the X model BMWs, as well as the 230i vehicles. Some Toyota Supras are also included. Those model years are from 2021 through 2022. A jury resuming deliberations this morning in the case of an armed man charged with murder in the 2020 death of an 8-year-old girl here in Atlanta.
A dumb 19-year-old. That's how defense attorney Arnold Regas describes Julian Conley, and he admits Conley's in a gang but says Conley is no killer. He notes even Sequoia Turner's grieving mom never mentioned a gunman in a red shirt.
Never did she ever say the word red.
Fulton County prosecutor Daisha Young says being a dumb 19-year-old is no excuse. She tells the jury video IDs the killer. Sequoia's mom doesn't have to.
He wants her to be able to tell you about a red shirt. The only thing red that she was concentrating on was the blood that was pouring from her baby body.
Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
All right, let's take a look at the markets right now. The Dow is currently up 348 at 46,296. So the Dow's up more than 0.5%. NASDAQ also in positive territory. The S&P also up more than 0.5% here at 10:03. That means it's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Smile and Mark McKay, how are we doing on the roads?
We are still looking at that road closure, Sabrina, in Roswell, Highway 9, busy Highway 9 at Azalea Drive as that cleanup and crash investigation continues north of the Chattahoochee River. Get out of Roswell, head south or north between Sandy Springs and Roswell by using 400. The delays on I-75 are really stacking up out of Marietta now, starting at the Canton Road, taking you up to right lane construction in Kennesaw on 75 northbound, just above Chastain Road, exit 271. And outbound delays in the construction zone. Had a crash there a little earlier on I-20 eastbound before Wesley Chapel Road, exit 68. Smiley Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Mostly cloudy with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms through the afternoon. High 80. Lows tonight in the mid-60s. A few pop-up storms tomorrow can't be ruled out. High 81. Sunday, partly cloudy skies, high 83.
It is 73 degrees right now in Roswell, Lithia Springs, and Jonesboro. We'll have more news at 10:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome back to the show and a good Friday morning to you. Mark Arum here, you there. It's 11:05, 5 minutes after 11 o'clock. This is the Mark Arum Show, live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon on 95.5 WSB. The gang not all here today. We're playing a man down. Executive producer Deborah taking a much deserved day off. Longoria, the stoic Eskimo on the other side of the takeout window. Vinny Drip screens your call. I love that drop, by the way. Absolutely love that drop. Thank you. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K Day Bonus Blitz. Chance for you to $1,000 here on 95.5 WSB. And we're going to go live to the nation's capital. Aaron Navarro, Capitol Hill reporter for CBS News, going to join us as we are 4 days away from a possible government shutdown. Bill Crane at 10:35. And even though Deborah's not here, Longoria, I was able to squeeze some tickets out of promotions. 11:37, I'll give you a chance to win a pair of tickets to Andrea Bocelli. Yeah, get some culture in your life, people. Get some culture. Speaking of culture, again, thanks to Jeff Foxworthy and the Punchline Comedy Club in Buckhead. We held an event, stand-up comedy event last night at the Punchline, benefiting the WSB Care-a-thon and Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Amazing time. WSB luminaries on stage. Our boss, Ken Charles, kicked things off, and then Dave Baker from the Home Vixit Show, Eric Von Hessler, me, and then the star of the show, Jeff Foxworthy, absolutely crushed it. I just got pictures from the event. I'm going to post them on social media at Mark Arum, MarkArum. But thanks to everyone that bought. Those tickets were not cheap. They were not, and they paid for Foxworthy and for Children's, and they just got me, Baker, and EVH as bonuses. But it was awesome. Great time had by all. All right, a couple of big stories, by the way. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is speaking to the General Assembly at the UN. Right before he took the dais, a bunch of countries walked out in protest. Our correspondent at the UN, Pamela Falk, is going to join us live a little bit later on what Netanyahu had to say and what countries actually walked out before he started giving his speech. Another story we haven't even touched upon yet is Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. He has ordered several hundred top U.S. military leaders called to attend a meeting at a base in Virginia next week. They've not been told why they've been summoned. ABC Chief Global Affairs anchor Martha Raddatz with more.
Hundreds of admirals and generals are leaving their posts from airfields, at sea, and at tactical headquarters around the world. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth summoning all U.S. general officers and admirals in command positions and senior enlisted leaders to a meeting at the U.S. Marine Corps base in Quantico, Virginia. But even those told to attend the meeting do not know what prompted Hegseth's call and what will be discussed.
Yeah, so very, not much clarity on what this unprecedented meeting of our top generals and admirals will be. Natasha Bertrand is from CNN updating the story from the Pentagon this morning.
Officials that we spoke to are pretty concerned about this. To put it in perspective, generals, flag officers, they typically prepare intensively for really any kind of meeting. And so to have this kind of surprise invitation summons really land on their desks has come at a moment of deep anxiety for a lot of them because they simply have no idea what to expect. Now, we're told that Secretary Hegseth has ordered generals and admirals to appear on Tuesday at Quantico Military Base in Virginia. This was very short notice. He did not provide any explanation for what the meeting would be about. The most detail I think that we've gotten about this gathering came yesterday from President Trump when he spoke a little bit about it in the Oval Office. Here's what he said.
We have the greatest equipment in the world. We're selling the equipment to other countries. And a lot of generals want to be here and they want to look at they're also going to be touring equipment sites. They're going to be talking about the newest weapons, et cetera, et cetera.
Now, Secretary Hegseth has previously expressed a lot of disdain for many of the military senior officers, saying that about a third of them, at least, are complicit in the politicization of the military. So a lot of these officers are coming into this meeting aware that they don't necessarily have a friend in Secretary Hegseth, who has also fired a large number of generals and admirals since he became Secretary of Defense earlier this year. One official that we spoke to said that it's being joked that this is going to be a Squid Games type meeting, of course alluding there to fears that this could be some kind of mass firing or mass purge of officials. But others that we spoke to are expecting somewhat of a more kind of mundane routine gathering, perhaps a speech that Hegseth will give about developments at the Department of Defense, perhaps as Trump alluded to, some kind of tour of new military equipment. But regardless, this is pretty unprecedented, and it's going to be such a huge gathering that there are also serious questions about the logistics and the safety of having all of these senior officers in one place at a time.
Natasha Bertrand this morning in Washington. So maybe it is something as benign as President Trump said there. All the generals and admirals want to come see all the amazing, military hardware we have. But just as a dude with a job and many bosses, that's like getting called to the boss's office. Like last Friday, the boss texted me. He's like, "Hey, come to my office when you're off the air." That's it. And I'm like, I'm under contract. And I was nervous. I'm like, what? I had no information. I walked in with my badge in my hand. I'm like, am I getting fired? And he was like, no, you're number one in the ratings. I'm like, well, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Could have led with that.
Yeah. So I get why generals and admirals, unless they know and they're just sworn to secrecy, but it's like being called into the boss's office. I'll have more on that. Again, it's Tuesday, Quantico in Virginia. All these admirals and generals, will they find out if they're you're fired? Right? That's President Trump's signature line. It used to be, you're fired. Or they're getting a pay raise. Maybe they're going to get $1,000 from Pete Hegseth. Oh, you could win $1,000 right now, friends. It's the 5K a day bonus blitz. Your 10 a.m. keyword is payday, P-A-Y-D-A-Y, payday. Enter the keyword payday into the WSB Radio app or at WSBradio.com/cash. You have until 10:30 a.m. to enter the keyword, win $1,000. The keyword is payday. Don't forget, if you get a call after 10:30 from a number you don't recognize, answer it. Could be us telling you want $1,000. Keyword is payday, P-A-Y-D-A-Y. Good luck, my friends. All right, let's go back to D.C. We are 4 days away from a possible government shutdown. Covering the story for CBS News and joining us live, it's Aaron Navarro. Aaron, good morning. Happy Friday, my friend.
Hey, good morning. Happy Friday. Thanks for having me.
And any clarification in the last 24 hours? Are we closer to a deal? Are we further away from a deal? What's the latest on the Hill?
We are at the same point, which means this deal is unlikely. The deadline is right when the clock strikes midnight from next Tuesday, September 30th, into the new month of October on Wednesday, October 1st. And the Senate would need at least 60 votes to pass any type of funding bill, and that will require at least 7 Democrats, and so far they have none. So there's been no budging from either side, so it really seems like a shutdown is imminent.
The last grenade, if I recall correctly, in this budget battle and the extension of the CR was President Trump saying, well, if we don't have a deal, we're going to have mass firings at all of these government agencies, which seemed to be like, hey, Democrats, do you want those jobs on your conscience if you don't agree to this deal? Have we heard from Democrats in response to that?
Yeah, they've called it an extortion move, saying that is this president again trying to traumatize and threaten federal workers, but we have not seen them say that this will change their stance. Of course, there's a lot of last-minute dealings, though sometimes these, shutdown deadlines are solved right at the last minute up in Capitol Hill. But at least a couple of days out from that deadline, we're not seeing any movement from Democrats or Republicans for that matter. They've really stayed with the White House, which has backed the sort of short-term fix known as a continuing resolution, kind of short-term funding. But again, the Senate needs Democratic buy-in, and so far they're not getting it.
So far in the second Trump presidency, Speaker Mike Johnson, every time there is a looming crisis, he's pulled off a miracle and has been able to get things passed in the House. Can Senate Majority Leader John Thune pull off the same miracle, do you think, in the next 4 days?
I think what we're going to be watching for explicitly, if we're going to get any Democratic buy-in, is any type of adjustment to the continuing resolution when it comes to expiring Obamacare tax credits, which Democrats have called for the expansion of to keep, health insurance premiums affordable for people already under Obamacare. But we have not seen that publicly, at least yet, from Senator John Thune. Though, again, maybe there could be some backroom dealings next Monday or Tuesday.
Aaron Navarro, CBS News in Washington, joining us live here on the Mark Arum Show. 4 days, if there isn't a deal done, will we see immediate impact? Do you think President Trump will hold true to his mass firings decree and we could see, tens of thousands of government workers, not just get furloughed, but permanently lose their positions?
Yeah, it's something that is certainly a threat from the White House Office of Management and Budget. The thing to note, though, is that should these RIF notices, reduction in force notices, start going out to federal workers, I'm being told by a lot of, federal employee attorneys, folks that have been representing federal workers this year as the Department of Government Efficiency has been cutting workers, to expect some quick litigation. So we could start to see RIF notices and then that be paused by some sort of last-minute court order. So we could see this dragged out in the courts, but certainly the attempt from this administration to at least, call the bluff of Democrats is certainly a possibility.
They say lawyers should never ask a question they don't know the answer to. I know a talk show host shouldn't ask a question that he doesn't want to hear the answer to. Will our congressional leaders be working over the weekend, or are they going to go to Bethpage, New York for the Ryder Cup, or are they going to go home, or are they going to stay there and really try to get a deal done?
We'll see. We'll see. I haven't seen any indication that they're looking to take a long vacation this weekend. I think both sides know some of the political vulnerabilities here if you have a shutdown. I think Democrats, when they came at this impasse earlier this year, may have been criticized for not fighting enough, for not calling the bluff of the Trump administration and going into a shutdown. We'll see who budges this time, but certainly there's a lot of pressure on Democrats internally from some of their party base to put up more of a fight compared to earlier this year.
I guess the better question was, Aaron, does CBS have you on the clock this weekend? Are you working this weekend?
I'm always working. Always working.
Right,
with this White House, with this Congress, there's something that could change every hour.
Well, that gives me optimism, though. If CBS is like, oh, Aaron, you got to work this weekend, I think that maybe they'll be working on a deal. Aaron, great stuff. I hope you have a little rest this weekend, my friend.
Thank you. You too.
There you go. All right. So September 30th is the deadline. Speaking of September 30th deadline, doesn't impact me or Longoria. I don't know what kind of car Vinny's grandmother has, but if you have one of those electric vehicles or alternative fuel vehicles, you've been able to free ball in the hot lanes for free because of the government regulations. Hey, if you have a Tesla and it's just, even if you're just one person, you can drive in those 85 hot lanes for free.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That ends September 30th. So enjoy your hot lane time. Yeah, starting September 30th, drivers of electric and alternative fuel vehicles will no longer be allowed to drive in the HOV lanes or drive toll-free in the express lanes on I-85 in Gwinnett. The exemption for these vehicles expires 11:59 p.m. September 29th, meaning the drivers must pay tolls in the express lanes unless they have two or more people in the car. So if you had a Tesla, for example, I'm just going to default to Tesla because they're everywhere. You can use the HOV lane in Cobb County or the express lanes, I think, in Cobb County or the HOT lanes in Gwinnett. and without repercussion. It's free. Yeah, I'm like, I'm saving the planet. I don't have to pay tolls. That goes away. 11:59 p.m., September 29th. Let me just make sure that I'm not saying that wrong. Let's go to our traffic expert, Mark McKay. Is that right, Mark? September 30th is the deadline for those alternative fuel vehicles?
Yes, sir. Better get them. Get one now, or you won't be able to, get that credit. It's important to have any kind of vehicle on a day like this because it is a getaway Friday, but we do have problems on the roads, Mark, including a travel advisory leaving Hartsfield. I see on the jam cam, crashing 2 left lanes. It's 85 northbound at Cleveland Avenue, exit 76. Things stacking up back at Sylvan. You could take Metropolitan Parkway into the city. Construction concerns through Kennesaw, I-75 northbound, jamming in now, Highway 5. Canton Road up to right lane roadwork at Chastain, exit 271. This report sponsored by True Natural Gas. True Natural Gas offers low rates, excellent service, and loyalty program called True Rewards. See for yourself at TrueNaturalGas.com, where they appreciate their customers. Smile Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
Don't be late because you crowdsourced your commute with a navigation app.
This might become a travel advisory. Yeah, they're in 2 left lanes.
Depend on us.
See some delays if they shut that ramp down.
Make sure you get where you need to be on time.
Jam starting at Langford Parkway, getting past Spring Street.
Local and dependable traffic 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
We had a lot going on this morning through Henry County.
WSB Triple Team Traffic.
95.5 WSB. How Atlanta gets there.
That was thousands of miles being added to your private radio network. With Southern Link, connect your private LMR radio system to Critical Link, our mission-critical LTE network, so you can communicate more easily with more people when the situation demands. Call 1-800-818-LINC or visit southernlink.com to learn more about our interworking solutions, mission-critical push-to-talk, and LTE voice and data services. Southern Link, pushing the limits of what's possible.
Another accident? What happened? Our truck driver got cut off, and they're getting blamed. No witnesses, no proof, and insurance is skyrocketing. Wait, our drivers shouldn't take the blame for this? Exactly why we need Samsara. Their AI dashcam show real-time video proving when our drivers aren't at fault. So we protect our drivers and avoid false claims? Yep. Companies using Samsara have exonerated their drivers and saved millions on insurance.
Protect your drivers and your bottom line at Samsara.com. Samsara. Operate smarter.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. I know finding a dream engagement ring can be overwhelming, but don't worry, we got you. As director of diamond sourcing, it's my job to make sure every single diamond at Shane Company is truly the best of the best. Our team travels the world to see diamonds up close, in person. We handpick each one for its unique fire, brilliance, and scintillation. Diamond buying is an art. Of course, we look at cut, color, clarity, and carat, known as the 4 C's, but that's not all. We also look at how each diamond looks on a hand, where it will be worn, how it makes you feel, and if it's worthy of a Shane Company customer. That type of expertise only comes from working for a company that's been a family business since 1929. We also think about your budget. We only pick the best in each grade in all shapes and sizes. Your diamond is guaranteed to be the most beautiful because a friend wants you to pick from only the best. Drop by your store or shaneco.com and see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
As summer winds down, there's never a better time than to upgrade your AC system. Hey, folks, it's Mark Aaron, back from my pals at Reliable. Check out this amazing end-of-season savings. Get any size AC, just $69.99 a month. Get your free consultation by going to ReliableAir.com. Check this out. 0 down, low monthly payments, all future repairs, maintenance, even filters are no additional charge for life, and unbeatable lifetime warranty, 24/7 service, and next day installation, or they pay you $500. Plus, summer might be officially over, but we know in Atlanta it's never over until we get to like December. So get an amazing deal, end of season savings from my pals at Reliable. Any size AC, just $69.99 a month. Book an appointment for a convenient time right on their website at ReliableAir.com. Click on the Book Now button or call or text 770-594-9969.
Attention men, does ED and PE have you down? Well, great news. Choice Men's Health has the latest breakthrough treatments that can get you up and running. Meet the specialist who is dedicated to helping you perform better than ever in the bedroom.
Hi, I'm Dr. Katz, Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Our custom treatment plans have a 98% success rate at improving ED and PE on your very first visit, even if Viagra and Cialis have failed. Regardless of your age and medical history, we are here and dedicated to help you regain your love life.
Don't wait. Call Choice Men's Health now. We are so confident we can help. For a limited time, we're offering to cover your first treatment for free. Call 404-400-1170. Call now to claim your free treatment. 404-400-1170. Results guaranteed on your first visit or it's free. 404-400-1170. Choice Men's Health, the only choice for your health.
2 homes, same street, practically twins. One sells fast for top dollar. The other still sitting around like it forgot to shower. So what happened? Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler. Well, the first seller went old school. Traditional agent, endless showings, price drops, emotional roller coaster, and eventually they settled for less. The second seller, they used Orchard. Now, Orchard doesn't just list your home, they work it. Their agent knew what upgrades would catch a buyer's eye, brought in pros to handle everything, and made that house look like it belonged in a real estate magazine. And the best part? With Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, that seller packed up and moved out before a single stranger walked through their old front door. No showings, no stress, no, hey, can you hide the cat and vacuum cleaner again? Just top dollar and a smoother move. Want in? Start with a free home valuation at orchard.com. That's orchard.com.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale.
Vinny Drip, name this TV show theme song, my friend.
Tiny Ship.
Yeah, that's the name of the show, Tiny Ship. Yes.
That's what they said in there.
Tiny Ship debuted 61 years ago today on CBS. No, that was Gilligan's Island. Gilligan's Island, one of the most famous TV shows of all time. I think Longoria only was on for like 3 years.
Yeah, I think so.
It was
I think
really
it got
short.
more on the reruns.
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
but Tiny Ship would have been a good name.
That would have been better.
Good job, Vinny. That was 61 years ago today. All right, I told you Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu speaking to the United Nations General Assembly.
Giving the Palestinians a state 1 mile from Jerusalem after October 7th is like giving Al-Qaeda a state 1 mile from New York City after September 11th. This is sheer madness. It's insane, and we won't do it.
So Prime Minister Netanyahu there, before he got to the stage to address the General Assembly, a number of nations walked out in protest. Our correspondent at the UN, Pamela Falk, is there live monitoring the situation. She's going to join us before the end of the show and recap what the Prime Minister had to say and what nations had to walk out. 5K Day bonus blitz. You got 4 minutes left. 4 minutes left to enter the keyword. The keyword is payday. Payday. Enter payday into the WSB Radio app or online at WSBradio.com/cash, and you are registered. You could win $1,000. You could be $1,000 richer in like 10 minutes. Payday. Even though today's not a payday at WSB. When I saw the keyword this morning, because I don't get them in advance, I was like, oh, payday. Is today a payday? No, today is not a payday.
No.
It's a donut Friday.
Yeah, it is.
But it's not a payday. But anyway, could be an extra payday for you. Payday is the keyword, Payday. Throw that into the WSB Radio app, and you could win $1,000. All right, news, weather, and traffic in 3. When we come back, all things politique. Political analyst Bill Crane's going to join us live here in the Mark Arum Show. And I promise, before the end of the broadcast, I'll throw up pictures from the Punchline on my Insta account. Instagram is at Mark Arum, MarkArum.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
That nagging joint pain, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes it's from years of hard work. Sometimes it's an old injury that just never healed right. Either way, it's been calling the shots in your life for too long. But that stops right now. I'm Mark Airman. QC Kinetics is here to flip that script. They use regenerative medicine, advanced cellular treatments that help your body heal and restore the damage in your joints, not cover it up, not cut it out, actually helping heal and restore. And the results, long-term, lasting relief. QC Kinetics, no surgery, no drugs, no long recovery, just a smarter, natural way to get your freedom back. Bring your MRIs, your X-rays, and they'll make sure you're a good candidate. Your first consultation, it's free, friends, so there's no reason to wait. Call QC Kinetics, 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026. Decatur, Lawrenceville, Sandy Springs, Marietta, Stockbridge, and Douglasville. Appointments available on Saturday. 770-285-8026.
Worried about market losses? If headlines are keeping you up at night, it's time to take control. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I know you've worked hard to save. But in times like these, what if can turn into what now? If you're planning to retire or are in retirement, you need a strategy that helps protect your future. At Trajan Wealth, you can capture market gains, protect your account from losses, and guarantee income for life. Right now, you could receive a bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. You heard me right. An upfront bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10%, all guaranteed to boost your lifetime income in retirement. Don't leave your future to chance. Plan with confidence. Call 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company, DBA, in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
Boost your day at Whole Foods Market. Get 30% off all packaged coffee with Prime through September 30th. Grab your favorite beans for a delicious morning brew. While supplies last, shop in-store or online. Terms apply.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 10:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by your Metro Atlanta Amco dealers. We're going to start in Fulton County and the trial of the man charged with murder in the 2020 death of an 8-year-old Atlanta girl during police protest. The jury is deliberating this morning, and WSB's Veronica Waters just now telling me that the Julian Conley jury is asking to rewatch the area security videos from all 4 angles. They are now watching that. Conley accused of firing the shot that killed Sequoia Turner the night of July 4th, 2020. The state arguing that surveillance footage shows Conley pulling the trigger. However, the defense stated that no witness had definitively identified Conley in the video. But again, the jury asking to rewatch that video now, and they are doing that. Check back for updates. As I said, WSB's Veronica Waters is covering this trial. Cloudy today with on and off rain showers and a few thunderstorms possible. Afternoon highs around 80, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. This is new here at 10:30. A former Gainesville High School teacher and golf coach indicted on sex charges involving several students. Cameron Milholland accused of sending sexually explicit images and videos to 3 students. He has now been indicted by a grand jury on charges of child molestation, computer pornography, and 3 counts of improper sexual conduct by employee. All right, you need a flu shot? Well, you can get one this weekend, starting tomorrow in DeKalb County, and it's pretty convenient.
People can drive through to get a flu vaccine this weekend at the Lou Walker Senior Center in Lithonia. Interim Director at DeKalb Public Health, Dr. Lynn Paxton, says over the past 11 months, Atlanta has seen the effects of the flu.
In the metro Atlanta area, there were over 5,250 influenza hospitalizations during the same period of time.
Registration is not required beforehand, and the vaccine will still be available during regular business hours at all DeKalb Public Health Centers. Mary Ryan Howarth, 95.5 WSB.
From flu to COVID now, many people who caught COVID now have a weaker sense of smell, and they may not even realize it. A new study from NYU tested COVID patients and found that 2/3 of people who did not report any problems with their sense of smell still scored low on smell tests. Researchers say the number of people with a diminished sense of smell may be much higher than previously thought. Time is running out for Congress to pass a bill that could keep the government funded. The White House is threatening to fire government employees who may be furloughed if a shutdown happens. Rachel Scott has more from Washington.
In past shutdowns, federal employees are furloughed and then they typically come back to work once lawmakers reach a deal. But the administration is now directing agencies to consider firing employees working on programs that are not consistent with the president's priorities. Democrats are calling that intimidation. They are not budging on this, and the president is now refusing to meet with them. So this is a stalemate with just 5 days to go.
And Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is ordering hundreds of U.S. admirals and generals from around the world to head to Virginia for a meeting. That's according to multiple reports which say the reason for this meeting is unclear. Let's take a look at the markets. We're in the green. The Dow's up 130 at 46,077. NASDAQ is actually down slightly, and the S&P is in positive territory. It's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Here's Smiler Mark McKay.
A couple of travel advisories out there, including the ride leaving the airport where two left lanes have been knocked out with a crash. I-85 northbound above Cleveland Avenue, exit 76. This jam back at Sylvan. Go ahead and use Metropolitan Parkway. We had been monitoring the construction rolling through Cobb County. Now we have a crash in that work zone. Travel advisory. Only a right lane is getting by. I-75 northbound, Chastain Road, exit 271. The delays almost back to the North Loop means using Cobb Parkway. Smiler Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Mostly cloudy skies today with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms heating up to a high near 80. Lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms possible, high 81. Sunday, drying out, morning lows in the mid-60s, daytime high 83.
It's 75 degrees in Marietta. Jefferson, you have 74 and 75 in Tucker. We'll have more news at 11 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Everyone has an opinion.
I've had some great Mondays. I'm having a good Monday right now. Look at beautiful outside.
Got that nice loud shirt.
Eric Von Hessler has an opinion.
It's a citrusy, summery, I think breezy kind of shirt.
And some advice.
But just remember this.
Eric Von Hessler, today at 3.
I never have and never will smoke a cigar.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Coming up next, we'll update our top local stories, plus all things politics. Political analyst Bill Crane, and I might have goofed. I'll explain in 2 minutes on the Mark Arum Show.
The Findlay Roofing Chief Barking Officer Rufus has the zoomies. He's rolling over about saving you $1,000 off your roof replacement. That's a lot of bones. Hey, it's Dave Baker for Findlay Roofing, the roof guys. Stop repairing the leaks and dragging your feet. For a limited time, save $1,000 on your roof replacement. Hurry, this treat ends on Halloween. Schedule your free roof analysis at FindlayRoofing.com.
At Kroger Pharmacy, we make it easy to get flu, COVID, and RSV vaccines. They're available at no cost to you with most insurance plans. No appointment needed. And we're open weekdays, weeknights, and weekends. So come and visit us when it's most convenient for you. Kroger Health, a world of care is in store. Vaccines subject to availability. No cost to you with most insurance plans. Check with your plan for eligibility. Restrictions and exclusions may apply. See site for details.
It's the Love Your Home Minute from TE Certified. Hi, it's Chris Chandler with Josh, the local owner of TE Certified Electrical, Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. You know Josh, that's him you see jumping out of the back of their trucks. Josh, welcome. About that time of year, tell me what you have installed outside your house that really makes you love your home.
My landscape lights, they're beautiful and they're safe. I love at night being able to pull up to my house and seeing how pretty it is. And of course, I like being able to see my way from the car to the door. I love at night when I go outside to let the dog out, or if I'm checking on something, I can actually see. And to be quite honest, I love it when my neighbors say, man, your house looks amazing.
It's fun to make the neighbors jealous.
A little bit, yeah.
What kind of different, sort of lighting choices are there? Fixtures and bulbs and brightness and all that?
So we do uplights on the side of the house. We do path lights. We do spotlights on trees. We do accent lighting as well.
Wow, outdoor lighting sounds like a bright idea, Josh, and a great way to love your home.
TE Certified, we love your home.
At Shane Company, we've been engagement ring experts for almost 100 years. We have the largest selection of diamonds and gemstones in stock. You don't have to wait to compare them side by side. Find the one that speaks to you at shaneco.com or in store. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
10:37 on the Mark Arum Show. I warned you at the top of the show, we are rudderless today. Executive producer Deborah off. Well-deserved day off, but I think I goofed Longoria in the 5K day bonus blitz. So I'm just reading. I'm not throwing Deborah under the bus. Before she went on vacation, she sent me the keywords for today, and I read it. Payday. I've just been bombarded with voicemails on my email, text messages from friends. That a payday was apparently the incorrect keyword. It was not P-A-Y-D-A-Y. So I apologize. I am reading it here, and I double-checked. Yeah, payday. So I don't know. I'm going to take the blame on this. If I got to give $1,000 to a lucky listener, I'll do it. It'll be in installments, $10 a week for 100 weeks, but I'm going to make good. I've just texted the bosses to see what I should do, but I'm just reading. I don't choose the keywords. I just read them, and it said payday. But apparently, even little Sanjay's like, dude, that it wasn't right. It wouldn't work. So I apologize for that. I've texted the bosses. I will make sure that the situation's rectified. I'm not. It's not Deborah's fault. I'm going to fall on the sword, if need be. Longoria and I will kick in $500 each. And
yeah, you might have to wait till the first, but yeah.
Make sure. Or you know what, Bill Crane. Mike, can we get Bill's music? Let's get Bill's music on. Bill, I'm sorry. Belated Blue Eyes because I had to give a mea culpa.
We all like it when people take responsibility for their little boot bumps in the road in life.
Is that was that the political savvy move to get in front of this and?
Oh yeah, rather than deny.
Yeah.
And say you don't even know Mr. Epstein.
No,
yeah,
I don't even know Mr. Payday. Oh, so now Vinny gives me the correct keyword. Do I do it? And it's too late now, right, Vin? I can't. All right, it's too late now. Anyway, I'll come up with a solution. I am so sorry, friends. Payday was not the keyword, but maybe you'll win $1,000 from me and Longoria. Anyway, Bill, sorry for the delay. Good morning. Happy Friday, my friend.
Thank you. I wish I had known about y'all's stand-up situation last night at the Punchline. One, I would have been there, but two, I'll match that $500 of yours if there's a videotape. If y'all are going to put that up on the website or on YouTube, I really want to see. I kind of have this feeling that you do a Seinfeld-esque sort of observational humor, but I've never seen you do stand-up.
I don't remember what I did. It was mostly off the cuff, which is the way I roll. And even Foxworthy is like, oh, you're just going to wing it, huh? I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to wing it. I know one of Von Hessler's handler recorded his, but I don't know if the whole thing was recorded. But what's crazy, it sold out so quickly, Bill, during the WSB Carathon that there were no staff tickets. So I was able to bring Maya. That was it. But I apologize. But if we do it next
no problem.
year,
I would have bought a ticket. But I loved seeing Jeff Foxworthy at the WSB Centennial, and I've always enjoyed seeing him live too. So it would have been worth whatever.
I did reference the Foxworthy Centennial appearance in my 5 minutes last night. But yeah, it was a great time. If there is, and again, before the end of the show, I'll post some pictures on social media. But if there is video, I'll try to link that as well and put it on YouTube. Bill, let's start up at the United Nations. Prime Minister Netanyahu, a firebrand right now. We had a number of folks walk out before he even started his speech. President Trump addressed the UN General Assembly. The biggest headline for me was his 180 on the Russia-Ukraine war.
Yeah, I think it's typical of what we've seen of this second term of the Trump presidency, which is to make bold and at times outlandish statements aimed as a negotiating tactic at a particular audience, whether you're talking about tariffs or you're talking about going after someone or immigration policy. In this case, sending a message to Vladimir Putin. It's been over a month since they met in Alaska for a peace summit that really hasn't resulted in anything. He wasn't even able to produce the one-on-one meeting with Putin and Zelensky. And so now he's expressing that Russia's a weak country and a paper tiger because they've been at it this long and they still haven't won the war. And now, again, like you said, a complete 180 that Ukraine should be able to get all of its territory back, which I assume implied the Crimea and even some additional territories that they've moved into during these incursions. What the Ukrainians are doing very effectively that does not necessarily spell victory, but is part of why Russia's getting a get more aggressive, is they're attacking not people and not cities, but Russia's energy infrastructure. Russia's the third largest exporter of oil in the world. If you take out their refineries, if you take out their pipelines, if you take out their power plants, you cripple Russia's economy. And so they're not going after destroying cities or killing large numbers of people, but they are after Russia's economy, and that has Vladimir Putin's attention.
Yeah, and calling the Russian army and military weak, the economy weak, a paper tiger. I mean, strong stuff. And I was glad to see it. I really was. It seems President Trump, he thought he had the relationship to get a deal done, but I think he's realized that Putin's just leading everyone along. And it was great to hear President Trump reverse course on the Russia-Ukraine war.
I think he's on the right side now, but as we've talked about in other issues like the economy and tariffs and tax policy, consistency is what builds long-term relationship with allies and what builds stability in the economy.
Bill, I mentioned Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressing the General Assembly today. We will go live to the UN before the end of the show. Palestine, recognized by several of our European allies as a nation state. United States on the Security Council says no go. Does it matter either way? And what is going to happen at the end of the day with this Israel-Hamas war?
Well, recognition certainly matters. The Palestinians have a government that is not recognized in Gaza City because Hamas controls Gaza City. And it would look to me twofold. One, European allies want to do what they can to continue to tamp down civilian damage, casualties, and what is right now essentially the evacuation of Gaza City. And they're sort of picking a devil they do know, the current not particularly powerful or well-organized government of Palestine, versus Hamas, and saying this is our horse and these are the people we're going to support. The president's not ready to go there, in part because Israel's not ready to go there until all of their hostages or the deceased bodies of their hostages are returned. And at this point, it looks like that there will be very, very little left of Gaza. We'll be looking at Gaza City as kind of post-Hiroshima or Nagasaki in terms of rebuilding.
Political analyst Bill Crane joining us live on the Mark Arum Show. Bill's back on a Friday. Jimmy Kimmel returned to airwaves on certain ABC stations across the nation. Your overall take on the Kimmel suspension, and is this a win for free speech, win for comedians, a loss for everybody? What do you think went down?
I'd say it's a win for free speech and a win for Mr. Kimmel, and I certainly would have preferred my sabbatical to be a week versus 2 years. So I have some experience here, but I did enjoy. I watched his monologue. I was, I think something like 17 million versus the typically 1.7 million watched that show. I don't know that audience will stay for him. Late night television, in part because Gen Z and millennials in those hours are looking at their phones, they're not looking at television, are not going to return to what they were. And I don't think we're seeing the end of the several other late night shows either being retooled or dropped because they're not the profit monsters they once were. But when you have the chairman of the FCC stepping into an arena, ABC doesn't have a broadcasting license. ABC has affiliates. ABC is a content provider and network. So even the chairman of the FCC had to walk back the content of his statement because he can go after the affiliates' licenses, but ABC doesn't. I mean, it owns affiliates, but ABC, the network, is not a broadcaster. It owns broadcast affiliates. It owns stations, and it provides content. But I think the president really overstepped in this topic and area later last week, talking about reporters and networks and television outlets that report critically on his administration are acting illegally. I'm glad we haven't seen more statements to that effect. He was clearly winging it at you. There's a big difference in tone when he's reading copy as he was at the beginning of Charlie Kirk's memorial service or at the UN, and when he goes rogue and starts talking and goes to the grievances Hall of Fame. And there's an energy level difference, which you've noted, but I can always tell when he's basically going off of Susie Wiles and the approved White House script.
It would have been, and I said this from day one, if the FCC chair hadn't said anything and it was just up to ABC or the affiliates or Sinclair or Nexstar and they pulled Kimmel on their own, then it's a non-issue. You have free speech, but, your employer can be like, no, you're like you and I know if your employer doesn't like your speech, you can lose your job. So I just think it was the FCC interference.
Well,
there.
that action, and we believe probably because Sinclair, Nexstar, and Tegna all have deals pending before the FCC.
Exactly.
That before the correspondence came from the chairman, there might have been some phone calls made.
Local story, Bill. We got a new GOP gubernatorial candidate who has entered the race, my friend.
Clark Dean is a commercial real estate executive who's built a personal fortune and is very successful, is very well known in charitable circles. He chairs the Carter Center's board, and he's entering as an outsider in the GOP race for governor. I suspect, as we often seen with business people who enter politics at that level, it's very difficult to build name ID quickly. And the people that he's running against in that primary are 3 statewide constitutional officers. But where he is important is, let's say he gets 2 or 3 percentage points of the vote, and he may do better than that, but in a Republican primary in a party he's not been active in, I can't see a double digits. He takes that away from other candidates, and again, that Chamber of Commerce mold that we talked about, more traditional Republicans last week, and he doesn't subtract votes from Burt Jones. He subtracts votes from Chris Carr and Brad
Raffensperger. Yeah, for sure. Well, Greg Bluestein told us early in the week that we should be seeing some new AJC UGA polling in the next couple of weeks. So we'll see if Mr. Dean polls higher than single digits or not, just entering the fray.
Public policy polling released a poll this week on the Democratic side.
Yes.
And as I told you, the mayor, former Keisha Lance Bottoms, it's 36% haven't made their minds up yet, so it's by no means a lot. But Keisha Lance Bottoms is a good 20 points ahead of all of her opponents, with Michael Thurmond in the second spot in that field of 6.
Yeah, and again, it was an internal poll, but by a legitimate polling facility. I was stunned by the big number that the former Atlanta mayor had, and I was shocked by the small number that Estevez had, the state senator. I thought he would poll better than that.
Again, we're back to name ID. He is known in the General Assembly. He is known among the lobbyist community. He is known in Metro Atlanta. Michael Thurmond last week was in Stevens County, Georgia, which is not traditional Democratic stomping grounds, Toccoa. He was in Dawson County, Big Canoe the week before that. And he posted pictures on Facebook, decent crowds, primarily older white folks, older blue dog Democrats. They still exist.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not in large number. And the base of the party, the strongest turnout of votes, is African-American women, which is also part of why Keisha Lance Bottoms' candidacy is going to be so well embraced.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, political analyst Bill Crane, always a pleasure. Have a great weekend. Big Dogs weekend, by the way, Bill.
I'll be there.
All right,
I'm going
enjoy.
Up in the morning.
Stay safe. I don't have the energy, Bill. I can't do it. I was talking to Bill Kayachi yesterday. I'm like, in my 20s, I would have been there at 8 a.m. starting the tailgate for a 7:30 kick, but no, I'll be in bed by halftime.
Well, this will be a test of the stamina that's returned or hasn't since the good news on the cancer front.
Exactly.
We'll let you know, but I'll be watching on TV if I can't make it to the end of the game.
All right, buddy.
When I paid for the tickets, I don't plan to give up the seat.
Yeah, understood. Stay safe. Have a great weekend, Bill.
Take care.
All right, political analyst Bill Crane. All right, I'm going to get to the bottom of the 5K day bonus blitz snafu after we check traffic at 10:49 in the a.m. Live with the latest. Smiley Mark McKay.
Quite a snafu in Kennesaw. Mark, temporary red alert now. I-75 northbound shut down. Crash in the work zone. This is just north of Chastain Road, exits 271. Traffic is already stacked up, leaving Marietta, now back to the North Loop. And add this crash to the mix in the right lane construction. It's a mess through Cobb County, leaving Marietta. So Cobb Parkway is going to be a better route than I-75. Again, all lanes are being held now. I-75 northbound, Chastain Road, exit 271. Travel advisory leaving the airport. 2 left lanes taken out with a crash. I-85 northbound, north of Cleveland Avenue, exit 76. Those delays you can get around by using Metropolitan Parkway. Smiler Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news.
is where you'll live.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000. Oh my God!
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
I just won $1,000.
Just enter the word at WSBRadio.com or on the WSB radio app. The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Your next chance to win is at 12 p.m.
Is your main drain clogged? We'll get it unclogged from my pals at Reliable. Hey, it's Mark Aram with you. Check this out. An amazing deal. $89 main drain cleaning promo. Clear out your main drain with my friends at Reliable. Same-day service available. No hidden fees or extra charges for after hours or weekends. Don't be stressed by your main drain. Get it unclogged from Reliable. Book an appointment now online at reliableair.com or call or text 770-594-9969.
Barry Manilow. Looks like we made it. The last Duluth concert. Barry Manilow. See him performing all the hits for one night only. Barry Manilow at Gas South Arena, Friday, January 16th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
It's the hardest working part of your home, your garage door. When it fails, you need someone you can trust. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. When the largest and most important opening of your home breaks, don't hire a schmo. Call the local name you know, All Four Seasons. Ask your neighbors. We offer upfront pricing, free estimates on all major brands, and 24/7 service. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 Seasons Garages.com.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or Canada Dry. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
It's the Love Your Home Minute from TE Certified. Hey, it's Chris Chandler with Josh, the local owner of TE Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. And you know him. That's him you see jumping out of the back of their trucks. Josh, something you've done recently to help you love your home.
We recently had the TE HVAC team replace our basement HVAC system with the Daikin Fit. We install a lot of HVAC brands, but the Daikin Fit is my absolute favorite. The system's about half the size of the old one, but it's 40% more efficient, and it's absolutely silent, which is super nice because this one was actually installed outside of our bedroom. It's true variable speed, which means it removes humidity, so as it runs, it actually takes humidity out of the house, and it costs us less money to operate. We install hundreds of systems in Atlanta, and this has been one of our customers' favorite. And so I had to get one in my home, and I absolutely love it.
All right, Josh, that's great. Thank you. I believe a Daikin Fit system from TE will help a lot of our listeners love their home more.
TE certified, we love your home.
Another accident? What happened? Our truck driver got cut off, and they're getting blamed. No witnesses, no proof, and insurance is skyrocketing. Wait, our drivers shouldn't take the blame for this? Exactly why we need Samsara. Their AI dashcam show real-time video proving when our drivers aren't at fault. So we protect our drivers and avoid false claims? Yep. Companies using Samsara have exonerated their drivers and saved millions on insurance.
Protect your drivers and your bottom line at Samsara.com. Samsara. Operate smarter.
Hey friends, have you filed an insurance claim for a roof replacement only to be denied? Are you not sure what to do? You're not alone. Dr. Roof here to help. Hey, it's Mark Aram. Dr. Roof specializes in reviewing the storm damage and getting your roof replaced. They've been around for over 37 years and can help you with all of your options. Don't settle for a denied or partial insurance claim. Get the roof you deserve with Dr. Roof, online at drroof.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're a different kind of wireless company dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Because let's face it, our needs are different. Big wireless unlimited plans are designed for 20-somethings, not us. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on one thing, bringing you affordable, reliable rate plans that suit your needs, not ours. How do we do that? We start by using the same towers as the big guys, the exact same towers. We then create rate plans designed for your usage. The fact is, we can offer you an unlimited plan with the same network quality for less because we understand how you use wireless services. Our plans start at just $20 a month. And forget trying to chat with robots. You'll get 100% US-based award-winning customer service when you need help. Come find out how wireless should be and join the millions who've made the switch.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Listen to a story about a man named Jed. A poor mountaineer barely kept his family fed.
63 years ago today, the Beverly Hillbillies premiered on CBS. Oil, that is. I remember that. I liked that show as a kid, Beverly Hillbillies. And the blonde? What was the blonde's name?
Was it Jaja?
No, that was Green Acres.
Yeah, that was Green Acres.
Anyway, so it's pretty crazy. Beverly Hillbillies, Brady Bunch, and what was the last one? Gilligan's Island. They all debuted on this date at various years to the thing. I liked the Beverly Hillbillies. Good show there. Let's update the ICE shooting in Texas. That's a big story that we've been following all week. 2 days after a deadly sniper attack on ICE facility in Dallas, FBI agents have found a raft of info about the suspect. The alleged shooter, 29-year-old Joshua Yan, or John, J-A-H-N, killed one ICE detainee and critically wounded 2 more before fatally shooting himself. ABC's Mira Villarreal has more on what the federal officials are now saying.
The FBI agent in charge basically said, we haven't seen any affiliation with any specific organization, but we do know that he was using tracking apps that are geared towards the tracking of ICE agents in the area, and that he used those in order to figure out exactly where they would be, and also to figure out, they believe, what facility he wanted to target.
Yeah, any updates on that investigation? By the way, if you saw the dude's mugshot, you'd be like, yeah, that tracks. But here's the big takeaway. This is the third dude in a row that's written on his bullets on the casings. See something, say something. You see someone writing something on a shell casing or a bullet, call the authorities. They're up to no good. News, weather, and traffic in 2. It's the Mark Arum Show, WSB.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place. You know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in will work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by the Next Generation Xfinity 10G network. At the Fulton County trial of an alleged gang member accused of fatally shooting and killing an 8-year-old girl at an illegal street blockade in the summer of 2020. Well, this morning, the jury is asking to rewatch a security video.
A rush to judgment. That's why defense attorney Arnold Regas contends Julian Conley's charged with murdering Sequoia Turner. Regas tells jurors the lead investigator dangled lies and half-truths and ignored other suspects.
Dressed in black, dressed like bounty hunters. That is what Omar said.
Fulton County Prosecutor Daisha Young tells jurors they can see on video Conley's guilt.
It was multiple people out there shooting. This defendant just happened to be the one who got caught.
Conley faces a 19-count indictment of murder, aggravated assault, and gang charges. Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
And again, Veronica says the jury had asked to rewatch that video this morning. Your weather for today, cloudy with on and off rain showers, a few thunderstorms possible, and a high of 80, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. A bridge replacement project could impact your drive on Briarcliff Road near Emory University. The school says replacement of the bridge on Briarcliff over Peachtree Creek will lead to delays and single-lane closures. They will be having these closures daily from 9 until 3, and then during the overnight hours, the Georgia DOT saying construction will last through the summer of 2027. There has been a deadly stabbing this morning in Cobb County. 2 women stabbed. This happened at the same Cobb County hotel where a baby was shot and killed this week. Cobb police saying one of the women stabbed died. The other is in stable condition at the hospital. Atlanta police say that they have made an arrest. A suspect is in custody. A new round of tariffs are set to go into effect next week. Pharmaceutical products will be subject to a 100% tariff starting October 1st, unless the drug maker is building a manufacturing plant here in the United States. Tom Smith is an economist and finance professor at Emory University's Business School.
All it's going to do is push those prices right along to consumers
And drug prices are an area where consumers are already very heavily hit.
And Smith says a year is not likely enough time for the U.S. drug industry to build the required infrastructure necessary to meet U.S. supply demands. DeKalb County Public Health's annual drive-through vaccination event starts tomorrow at the Lou Walker Senior Center in Lithonia.
Anyone who wants to receive a vaccine should bring their insurance information, photo ID, as these vaccinations are available at no cost with most private insurance and with Medicaid and Medicare.
That's Interim Director Dr. Lynn Paxton. She says that it's from 9 until 1 p.m. registration not required. All right, does Atlanta's big airport stress you out? Well, Hartsfield-Jackson International makes the top 10 list of the most stressful airports, coming in at number 10, according to rankings from the CBD company Mood.com. Deborah Rodriguez tells us which airport is the most stressful.
Colorado's Aspen-Pitkin Airport has just been named the most stressful airport in the country. It scores a 4.95 out of 10, with almost 9% of its flights canceled and average departure delays topping 45 minutes.
And she says Tiny Watertown International in upstate New York is the second most stressful airport with an overall score of 4.68. And they have an 8.8% flight cancellation rate there. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is in positive territory. NASDAQ is in the red, and the S&P is up slightly. It's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center. We have made it to Friday.
We sure have, Sabrina, but not without our headaches out there. That is for sure this morning. We had a crash in the work zone, 75 northbound at Chastain Road exit 271. They got that out of the left lane. Now, luckily, they're working on the right shoulder and in that right lane that's already blocked off for the construction, but nonetheless stacked up back toward Highway 5 in Marietta. Earlier crash leaving the airport, 85 northbound at Cleveland Avenue, exit number 76. That is now on the left shoulder. Still some brake lights though back towards Sylvan Road. Once you get past that, right lane construction, 75, 85 northbound, passing Highway 166, Langford Parkway. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Mostly cloudy with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms through the afternoon, high 80, lows tonight in the mid-60s. A few pop-up storms tomorrow can't be ruled out, high 81. Sunday, partly cloudy skies, high 83.
It is 77 degrees in Kennesaw. Alpharetta, you have 76, and it is 76 degrees here in Midtown Atlanta. More news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
I run this town to be near you.
11:04 on this exhausting Friday. We are so close to the weekend, friends. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Coming up in 30 minutes, I have a pair of tickets to give away to see Andrea Bocelli. 1 hour from now, another keyword in the 5K day bonus blitz. Chance for you to win $1,000 here on 95.5 WSB. Following some massive stories, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressing the United Nations General Assembly. Before he even took the stage, a number of nations walked out in protest. Pamela Falks at the UN monitoring. If she can get away, she's going to join us live and give us an update on what the Prime Minister said and what nations walked out. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has called for a huge meeting of generals and admirals next Tuesday at Quantico from all over the world. Like, we've got generals in the Mideast and in Europe and everywhere, Asia. They're all being called to Quantico. We're not exactly sure why, but that is a story worth monitoring. And we are 4 days from a possible government shutdown. We'll see if our legislative leaders will work on a possible deal. If not, after September 30th, the government could be shut down. President Trump says if that happens, there will be mass firings. It will be a chance for them to clear the docket like they did with Doge 1.0. So we'll see a couple of big stories we're going to monitor throughout the weekend here on WSB. Top story today, though, former FBI Director James Comey indicted just days after President Trump urged his Attorney General to prosecute former FBI Director Comey, and shortly after the U.S. District Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia was allegedly pressured to resign for not prosecuting perceived political enemies of the president fast enough, the newly appointed replacement attorney, Lindsay Halligan, presented charges against Comey before a grand jury on Thursday.
President Trump named Comey while criticizing Attorney General Pam Bondi for not moving quickly enough to bring criminal charges against his political opponents. Trump writing, justice must be served now. Trump yesterday denied pushing prosecutors to charge Comey.
They're going to make a determination. I'm not making that determination. I think I'd be allowed to get involved if I want, but I don't really choose to do so.
Last night, Trump celebrating the indictments, saying justice in America, and calling Comey one of the worst human beings this country has ever been exposed to.
Now, this all goes back, and I've been talking about this because 5 years ago, September 30th, 2020, former FBI Director James Comey was giving testimony in front of a Senate committee, and apparently, allegedly, as he was indicted for, we think, he lied to Texas Senator Ted Cruz. This is what it sounded like 5 years ago, September 30th, 2020.
On May 3rd, 2017, in this committee, Chairman Grassley asked you point blank, quote, have you ever been an anonymous source in news reports about matters relating to the Trump investigation or the Clinton investigation? You responded under oath, quote, never. He then asked you, quote, have you ever authorized someone else at the FBI to be an anonymous source in news reports about the Trump investigation or the Clinton administration? You responded again under oath, no. Now, as you know, Mr. McCabe, who works for you, has publicly and repeatedly stated that he leaked information to the Wall Street Journal and that you were directly aware of it and that you directly authorized it. Now, what Mr. McCabe is saying and what you testified to this committee cannot both be true. One or the other is false. Who's telling the truth?
I can only speak to my testimony. I stand by what the testimony you summarized that I gave in May of 2017.
So your testimony is you've never authorized anyone to leak. And Mr. McCabe, if he says contrary, is not telling the truth. Is that correct?
Again, I'm not going to characterize Andy's testimony, but mine is the same today.
So the first part of the indictment was about that, about lying to Ted Cruz about whether or not he leaked information to the press. I believe that is a felony charge. That is there's like a fine, a little like $1,000, and up to 5 years in jail. Now Comey released this on social media, responding to the indictments, and I believe he's set to turn himself in today.
My family and I have known for years that there are costs to standing up to Donald Trump, but we couldn't imagine ourselves living any other way. We will not live on our knees, and you shouldn't either. Somebody that I love dearly recently said that fear is the tool of a tyrant, and she's right. But I'm not afraid, and I hope you're not either. I hope instead you are engaged, you are paying attention, and you will vote like your beloved country depends upon it, which it does. My heart is broken for the Department of Justice, but I have great confidence in the federal judicial system, and I'm innocent. So let's have a trial and keep the faith.
Yeah, basically saying, hey, bring it on. Now, what's crazy about the story is Democrats hate Comey because they think he cost Hillary Clinton the election in 2016, right? Like 10 days before the election, reopened this FBI case about Hillary Clinton's emails. So Democrats despise him. Comey, a lifelong registered Republican, certainly not, MAGA Republican, but a lifetime Republican. And the MAGA hates him now because of what he did with President Trump, and President Trump fired him. So, the man is without a country right now, is James Comey. John Decker, traveling with the president, White House correspondent. John, I warned listeners yesterday that the statute of limitations on these charges was ending in just a couple of days, and I thought that indictment might drop this weekend. It looks like the district attorney got in front of me, the attorney general got in front of me and dropped the indictments yesterday. What can you tell us about these indictments?
Well, it's all about James Comey's testimony before Congress back in 2020 and an allegation that he lied to Congress during his testimony. That's the basis for the two counts that have been brought against James Comey. He put out a video statement yesterday on Instagram in which he said that he's innocent, that he's not guilty of these charges that have been brought against him. As you point out, the statute of limitations was about to run out on Tuesday. So they got this indictment against James Comey, the former FBI director, just under the wire.
John, hearing from Democratic critics of the president saying this is the mobilization of the Justice Department against political enemies. He had posted on Truth Social basically ordering Pam Bondi to get this done before the time ran out. Is this unprecedented? Is this expected? What do we know about that angle?
I can't think of an instance in which a president has essentially urged the attorney general to go after three specific individuals. Besides James Comey, we're talking about the Senator Adam Schiff, who used to be a member of the House of Representatives, and you mentioned James Comey as well, and also Letitia James, who's the Attorney General of the state of New York. So now you could argue one down, two to go. We'll see if any kinds of charges are brought against those other individuals that the president views as his adversaries.
This case can land in front of a Biden-appointed judge. Is that good news for James Comey, bad news for President Trump, or it's the judicial system, so we just know what we're going to get?
It's the judicial system, but, that being said, if you had your choice and you're James Comey and it's the United States government versus James Comey, and you'd much rather have a judge that was named to the federal bench by a Democratic president. But, let's not forget, James Comey, served in a role as FBI director during President Trump's first term. He was fired by President Trump, but the president views him as a nemesis. He was responsible for that Russia investigation against the president, contacts with the Russian government alleged during the 2016 presidential campaign. And now James Comey is going to know what it feels like. The shoe's on the other foot in the sense that he now is a criminal defendant.
John Decker, White House correspondent, actually traveled this morning on Air Force One with the president, going to Bethpage Golf Course in Long Island for the Ryder Cup. Apparently, it's U.S. versus Europe in the Ryder Cup, and apparently the United States not doing well thus far. But it's a long event. We'll check in with our golf correspondent, Alex Williams, coming up in a little bit. I do want to update a local story that broke after we got off the air yesterday. The world's busiest airport, Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, is about to lose a lot of federal funding. Emma Hurt from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution broke the story after we got off the air yesterday. Emma, good morning. As always, thanks for your time.
Hey, good morning, Mark.
How much money are we talking, and why is the world's busiest airport losing these funds?
Yeah, so we're talking $57 million for the fiscal year. About $38 million of that, we understand, is permanently lost. The remainder can be reapplied for next year. But as to why, it really roots back to the beginning of the Trump administration. Back in January, President Trump signed an executive order essentially requiring that anyone that works with the federal government or receives federal funding vows in their contracts not to operate any, quote, DEI programs. And that was inserted into contract language across the country for Department of Transportation funding and for the Atlanta airport. So for its general FAA funding that it had already applied for and won, it was now being faced with having to sign that promise. And as we know, the city does maintain inclusion programs and minority contracting programs. And what we learned is through correspondence with the FAA and the airport said it could not sign that language. And the FAA said, okay, then you don't get your money.
Did we get clarification from the airport why they couldn't get rid of that DEI language that was already in existing contracts?
So, based on my reporting on this seems like an active situation. The mayor told me last week they were actively considering what to do with their programs and if they did need to change them in order to continue receiving federal funding, because let's be clear, this is not just the airport. The airport is run by the city. And so all city programs, but also all city funding across the federal government is on the line here. That includes Beltline expansion. Atlanta Housing Authority dollars come from the federal government. So it seems that the airport leadership made this decision over the summer before the mayor's office has made any decisions about the rest of its programs. But more federal funding continues to be on the line if these programs aren't adjusted and if race and gender considerations aren't removed from them.
So this $57 million could just be the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the city of Atlanta, which I would assume still has a lot of DEI language in a lot of their programs.
That's correct. Yeah, it could be the tip of the iceberg, but I will say, based on what the mayor said last week, they are actively thinking about that. And based on the statement we received yesterday, they said they feel confident they will be eligible for federal funds in the future. And so this is very much something we're still watching for.
Interesting. Emma, that $57 million that's lost for this fiscal year, what would that money or what was that money earmarked for at the world's busiest airport?
Yeah, range of programs, including taxiway pavement replacement, help, restroom rehabilitation. They're, as we know, redoing almost all the restrooms across the airport right now. Several of its low emissions and sustainability grants. But, the city points out that this is 10% of federal funding represents 10% of its capital program in the next few years. Many of us would still say that's a lot. If you told me I was losing 10% of my revenue, it would be a problem, I think.
No doubt. Now, last question for you, Emma. The behemoth, as we all know at Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International, is hometown airline Delta Airlines. Have they commented on this at all?
They have declined to comment, but it is true that when the city said to us, they intend to find ways to make up this funding. Delta and airlines, and in one way or another, whether it's through fees paid per passenger, are a large way that airports are able to pay for things. Delta has helped funded every major construction project, I think, at the airport, and would expect to continue to be so. So they did not comment, but it is very much a relevant story for them as well.
Massive story, not just at the airport. We'll see what other funding the city of Atlanta could lose. Emma Hurt, Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Emma, thanks for your time. Have a great weekend, my friend.
Thank you, Mark. You too.
Big numbers there. $57 million gone from Atlanta's busiest. We'll come back, update our further top local stories. First and foremost, not only do we got to check the roads with Alex Williams, let's get a Ryder Cup update from our official golf correspondent. Bad news for the USA?
Yeah, not looking too good right now, Mark. We've lost 3 out of the first 4 matches of the morning wave. We got 1 match still on the course that they are winning, so hopefully we can at least get 1 point on the board. But lots of work to be done. Only room for improvement from here for Team USA up there in New York. Right now in Atlanta, we're looking at what we would hope would be improvement, but it's not. 75 northbound up at Chastain Road. They cleared that crash out of the left lane, but now you still had the construction in the right lane there at exit 271, so stacked up through Marietta. Use Highway 41 Cobb Parkway. Earlier crash, 75 northbound at Cleveland Avenue, leaving the airport, has since cleared. You'll encounter some brake lights north of there, though, due to right lane construction. 75-85 northbound there at Langford Parkway. Traffic brought to you by Peach Pass. Life doesn't slow down, and neither can you. With Peach Pass, save time, cruise by traffic, and use your Peach Pass in 20 states, including Georgia. Visit peachpass.com and keep moving. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
It pays to have the WSB radio app. Download it today and get ready for the Blitz.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz. 5 chances every weekday to win $1,000.
$1,000 on WSB.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Your next chance to win is at 12 p.m.
That is awesome.
From 95.5 WSB.
Download the WSB radio app now.
It's the Love Your Home Minute from TE Certified. Hi, it's Chris Chandler with Josh, the local owner of TE Certified Electrical, Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. You know him. That's him you see jumping out of the back of their trucks. Josh, what should I be doing to love my home right now?
Seasonal HVAC maintenance.
About that time.
Absolutely. Our HVAC systems work hard for us all year round, and every once in a while we need to show them a little love too. So we need to come out, change your filters, clean the drain line, check all the electrical and gas connections, check the refrigerant, and make sure the settings are in tip-top shape for this season. This is going to make you more comfortable in your home. This is going to help you save energy, and of course it's going to keep you from having any of those bad breakdowns that happen at the worst time.
So it keeps you comfy for sure. What are some of the other benefits of the seasonal maintenance?
Well, absolutely, it's going to save money because an efficient system is going to use less energy as it runs.
All right, excellent, Josh. I am so glad I had TE maintain my system. It certainly helped me love my home.
TE Certified, we love your home.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, every week on the show, we offer folks something we call the Portfolio X-ray. I was hoping you could walk us through that process and tell us why the information it uncovers is so powerful.
Yeah, so the reason we love doing the Portfolio X-ray for you is we do that behind the scenes. Everybody's extremely busy. Nobody wants to waste time in traffic. If you call in, we will ask you for some information via the phone. Once you've given us that information, we go to work and we put all the hours in developing the report. And I commit this to you. The Portfolio X-ray is eye-opening. At least 90+% of the time, we can find 2 or 3 golden nuggets in there that you were not aware of that we can either change in your current portfolio mix for you. It's called a 401k optimizer. Or if we manage the assets for you, we certainly can recommend how to diversify away from some of the troubling points that are exposed during the Portfolio X-ray. Once we've got that, then we'll have you in for your initial consultation. We will present the Portfolio X-ray to you and walk you through the high points of it. And that's a document that you get to take with you. It's like getting a financial physical. Mm-hmm. So how many of you avoided going to the doctor for the annual physical last year? You do the same thing with your financial life. You ignore it. You keep pumping money into your 401k. You hope that it's going well, and I can tell you that hope is not a good investment or financial planning strategy. You need to know. So if you want to know, call us.
The Portfolio X-ray is complimentary. Give Hoffman Financial Group a call to schedule yours today. 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
People who suffer from long-term chronic joint pain spend so much of their time acting, putting up a carefree front. It's exhausting.
I was really tired of trying to act like I wasn't in pain because I was in pain all the time.
Rick Rawlings didn't want everyone else to know that he was coping with agonizing shoulder pain 24/7.
Yes, I had to put on a face to cover up my pain.
But then Rick found QC Kinetics, offering new lasting treatments for joint pain using natural biologics. Treatments designed to restore and repair joint tissue with no drugs, no surgery, no downtime. The results were amazing.
I am very glad. It changed my life doing the QC Kinetics. Today, my shoulders feel wonderful. The cranky Rick is gone. He's not grouchy anymore.
No more acting. Feel like yourself again with a call to QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026. QC Kinetics, 770-285-8026.
Castile Plumbing and Electrical knows the best way to handle that dripping pipe or flickering light isn't just wishing it'll go away on its own. Good news for you. You don't have to think too hard to take care of these issues, thanks to our free, no-obligation plumbing or electrical safety inspection with any paid service. The experts at Castile will fix any small problems before they become big, expensive ones, and even have 0% interest financing available on repairs and replacements. Enough with the wishful thinking. Book today at CastileAir.com.
Switch your termite protection to Breda and your rate is locked in for 10 years. Scott Slade here. When was the last time you actually saw your termite company inspect your home? If the answer is never and they raised your rate again, you better call Breda. Breda Pest Management is better at keeping termites out, and they'll lock in your termite rate for 10 years. BREDAPest.com.
Breda, Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
I don't feel expected to win. I feel expected to show up and, do the best that I can do. I'm just enjoying every moment.
Happy birthday to the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Serena Williams turns 44 years old today. I remember when she and her older sister Venus burst onto the scene. There was a movie, right, about their dad. He was kind of a...
Yeah, I believe so.
Don't become that guy.
I think Jamie Foxx was the father?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Like his daughters were wildly successful. But he was kind of, I didn't see the movie. Wasn't he kind of like overbearing or something?
I think so.
Yeah.
I believe so. No, I'm not like that.
Don't be that cheer dad.
They can do whatever they want.
Longoria used to be a swim dad. Now he's a cheer
Now
dad.
a cheer dad,
All right, coming up after the news at 11:30, I got a pair of tickets to give away to see Andrea Bocelli, and we're going to go live to the United Nations. Correspondent Pamela Falk is going to join us live. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel addressed the General Assembly, and right before he got on to the stage and took the dais, a number of countries walked out in protest. Pamela was there. She'll tell us what the Prime Minister said and what countries walked out before the speech even began. So hang tight after news, weather, and traffic. Andrea Bocelli tickets, Pamela Falk, and we'll update our top local stories. Oh, my goodness, so much to do. Social media is up and active. I'm going to try right now during the news break to post the Foxworthy stand-up pictures from last night at the Punchline Comedy Club. I'll try to sneak them onto the Instagram in the next couple of minutes, at Mark Arum, MarkArum.
Y'all, it's Eric, and summer is winding down, which means you got a great deal coming from Omaha Steaks. It's their Red Hot Sale event. You get 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Plus, because you listen to your host, Eric Erickson, you get an extra $35 off with promo code ERIC at checkout. Look, with so much happening, school is back in session, you got family in and out, you got fall weather coming, the leaves are starting to change colors. It's time to get out back, enjoy your grill without the summer heat. Go to omahasteaks.com today. You're going to get 50% off site-wide at checkout. Use promo code ERIC, E-R-I-C-K. Get the New York strips, by the way. Omaha Steaks, they're butcher cut, so they're hand cut. It's not machined. It's hand cut New York strips. They're fantastic. So are the fillets. Everything's great. omahasteaks.com is where you want to go. At checkout, use promo code ERIC, E-R-I-C-K. Get an extra $35 off. Minimum order required.
Attention men, does ED and PE have you down? Well, great news. Choice Men's Health has the latest breakthrough treatments that can get you up and running. Meet the specialist who is dedicated to helping you perform better than ever in the bedroom.
Hi, I'm Dr. Katz, Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Our custom treatment plans have a 98% success rate at improving ED and PE on your very first visit, even if Viagra and Cialis have failed. Regardless of your age and medical history, we are here and dedicated to help you regain your love life.
Don't wait. Call Choice Men's Health now. We are so confident we can help. For a limited time, we're offering to cover your first treatment for free. Call 404-400-1170. Call now to claim your free treatment. 404-400-1170. Results guaranteed on your first visit or it's free. 404-400-1170. Choice Men's Health, the only choice for your health.
Save on organic best of season produce at Whole Foods Market. Get organic Honeycrisp apples for $3.49 per pound with Prime through September 30th. Try them in a fall apple tart or spiced morning oats. While supplies last, shop in-store or online. Terms apply.
Get a head start on holiday home prep with help from Zerorez. It's Patrick, owner of Zerorez. Getting all of those neglected stains out doesn't require chemicals and harsh soaps. No way. ZR Water technology gets your carpets cleaner and lasts longer. Save up to $30. The more rooms you clean, the more you save. Mention WSB to secure this deal or book online at ZerorezAtlanta.com and ask about our Zerorez commercial cleaning too. Zerorez. Spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by Rocco's European Garage. This just in, Roswell police have arrested a 29-year-old man. He's accused of killing his father. Tristan Donnell is facing murder charges in a shooting death of 56-year-old Gary Clark. Now, the shooting happened yesterday morning at the Rosemont apartment. You heard us telling you about it. The two had been fighting before the shooting, Donnell being held at the Fulton County Jail this morning. Your weather for today, cloudy with on and off rain showers possible. A few thunderstorms also could happen. Highs around 80, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. 2 women have been stabbed at a Cobb County motel where a baby was shot and killed earlier this week.
Cobb County police say they were called to the Budgetel Inn on Circle 75 Parkway just after midnight. That's when they found a Matrian Hawkins with multiple stab wounds. She was taken to the hospital where she later died. A second victim, Janiyah Jenkins, was treated at the hospital for severe lacerations to her hand. She's listed as stable. Atlanta police arrested a suspect, Frank Moore, in connection with the stabbings. They say he knew the victims. Moore has been charged with felony murder, aggravated assault, and possession of a knife during the commission of a felony. In Cobb County, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
Now to Fulton County, at the trial of the man charged with murder in the 2020 death of an 8-year-old Atlanta girl during a police protest. The jury deliberating this morning. WSB's Veronica Waters says the Julian Conley jury asked to rewatch the area security video from all 4 angles. They watched that this morning. Conley accused of firing the shot that killed Sequoia Turner the night of July 4th, 2020. The state arguing that surveillance footage shows Conley pulling the trigger. However, the defense stated that no witness had definitively identified Conley in the video. A church on Athens Highway in Grayson is vandalized. Thousands of dollars worth of damage done. Community of Grace Lutheran Church pastor Michael Janet says a young person playing basketball in the church parking lot saw the suspect and called police.
Somebody had broken in several windows and doors, glass doors of our church building. Basically vandalism to our building. Again, like about 4 big windows and 2 exterior doors, 2 interior glass doors.
The suspect, a man in his 30s, was quickly arrested after the incident. The church does not believe this was a targeted act, just a troubled person. A new round of tariffs set to take effect next Wednesday. 100% on pharmaceuticals, 50% on kitchen cabinets and bathroom vanities. There'll be a 30% tariff on upholstered furniture and then 25% on heavy-duty trucks. Money Watch correspondent Kelly O'Grady telling us why the new tariffs are imported on pharmaceuticals and how it may not raise the cost here as much as we originally feared.
This announcement says that any drug company that has broken ground or is in construction on new manufacturing facilities in the U.S., they are exempt from that tariff. So companies like Eli Lilly, Johnson & Johnson, some of those big drug makers, have already committed to tens of billions of dollars, so they would be exempt in this case.
Now, the United States imports more than $230 billion in pharmaceuticals every year. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is up 240 at 46,188. So the Dow's up more than 0.5%. NASDAQ is down slightly, and the S&P is in the green. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. It's brought to you by Fenley Roofing. Here's Alex Williams.
Hey, Sabrina, still watching the brake light battle between Marietta and Kennesaw with that right lane construction. 75 northbound Chastain Road exit 271. You're slow back in North Marietta Parkway. Use Highway 41 Cobb Parkway as an alternate. Southbound also getting jammed up through the same area. I'll see if there's any rhyme or reason for that. Downtown right lane construction. 75-85 northbound getting past Highway 166 Langford Parkway. We had earlier trouble 285 eastbound the outer loop at Boulder Crest Road exit 51. That has since cleared. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Mostly cloudy skies today with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms heating up to a high near 80. Lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms possible, high 81. Sunday, drying out, morning lows in the mid-60s, daytime high 83.
Right now it is 77 degrees in Roswell and 77 in Marietta. We'll have more news at noon, breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
All the notifications you need.
The story developing in Marietta.
All the local and breaking news alerts you need.
We're following breaking news in Atlanta.
All in one place.
The 95.5 WSB app.
Download it today.
President Trump and I promised to prevent Iran from developing nuclear weapons, and we delivered on that promise.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the General Assembly at the UN. Will go live to the UN next, plus tickets to give away. Coming up on the Mark Arum Show.
By executive order from Rufus, the Findlay Roofing chief barking officer, they're rolling over. Rolling out a $1,000 discount on your Findlay roof replacement. Hey, it's Dave Baker. For the only roofer I answer the door for, Findlay Roofing, the roof guys. Stop repairing the leaks and dragging your feet. Now is the best time to replace that old, leaky, haunted roof and save 1,000 bones. Findlay has replaced over 65,000 roofs locally. That's no trick. It's just high-quality work, upfront pricing, and exceptional service. Findlay goes the distance. They're the extra effort experts, making sure you have a remarkable roof replacement experience. Findlay also has 0% financing available, and for a limited time, you can save $1,000 on your roof replacement. Hurry, you need to shake on this deal by Halloween. Schedule your free roof analysis at FindlayRoofing.com.
Hi, I'm John Ray, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. Getting engaged? So friends, listen up. Shane Company engagement rings are protected with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty. We stand behind the same quality we've offered since 1929. Our rings are crafted to last. It's why our warranty is the only one that protects your center stone. We also cover repairs, resizings, cleanings, and so much more. That's money you keep for you and your family. Because a friend always has your back. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hurricane season is here, friends, and now's the time to make sure your roof is ready for whatever comes next. Hey, it's Mark Arum back with you. At Dr. Roof, they're experts at hurricane proofing your home. From inspecting shingles to reinforcing your roof structure, they make sure your home is secure before the storm hits. Don't wait until it's too late. Get a free, no-obligation roof inspection from Dr. Roof today. Get ready before the hurricane season goes into overdrive. Call Dr. Roof today.
Hey everyone, it's your buddy Shelly Winter here. Join me this Saturday at noon for the Car Guys with Kevin Deutsch from Butler Lexus of South Atlanta. Buy or lease, fix or sell, everything you want to know about cars, we will cover Saturday noon to 1 right here on 95.5 WSB.
Selling and buying a home doesn't have to be a juggling act. With Orchard, you get cash up front to buy your next place, then more cash when your old home sells. Start with a free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
He packed in the animals 2 by 2, ox, camel, and a
11:37 on the Mark Arum Show. Welcome back, friends. A busy edition of the broadcast. We are Sans, our executive producer. I am Sans Energy because I was up past midnight, couldn't come down from the high that was the amazing Punchline comedy experience for the WSB Carathon. Jeff Foxworthy, the headliner, myself, Dave Baker, and Eric Von Hessler took stage. Ken Charles, our boss. And, of course, the hostess with the mostest, except he's a dude, the host with the most, Jamie Bendel at the Punchline. I finally, Longoria, I'm sorry you couldn't make it. I finally got the pictures up on social media at Mark Arum, Markarum. We're going to go to the United Nations in just a second. First, though, got some prizes to give away, and I'm going to mess this up because Deborah's not here. We have a pair of tickets to see Andrea Bocelli at some great venue.
I believe it's Gas
South Arena. Yes, October 11th. Gas South Arena. One pair of tickets to see Andrea Bocelli. Gas South Arena, October 11th. I'm going to punish Vincenzo. You're his boss. Give me a number.
Should.
Give me a number.
I'm 40.
Caller 40. Caller number 40 to 404-872-0750. Caller 41 wins a pair of tickets to see Andrea Bocelli, Gas South Arena, October 11th, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show at 95.5 WSB. Caller 40 to 404-872-0750 wins those tickets. Earlier today on the floor of the General Assembly at the UN, some cheers, some boos.
Order in the hall.
As Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu
Please, order in the hall.
got on stage to address the United Nations crowd there a couple of days after President Trump gave his address. President Netanyahu saw some folks leave in protest, but he eventually went on to give his speech.
Israeli fighter pilots and American B-2 pilots bombed Iran's nuclear enrichment sites. I want to thank President Trump for his bold and decisive action.
Yeah, no shock there. Obviously, Prime Minister Netanyahu with strong words of support for President Trump as President Trump famously knocked out those 3 Iranian nuclear sites not too long ago. Joining us live from the United Nations, she was there for it all, correspondent Pamela Falk. Pamela, good morning. Busy week for you, my friend.
Oh, my goodness, Mark. It's unbelievable. I mean, I've been 25 years doing UN General Assemblies, and this is the most, I don't know, crazy, most conflicts, most security, most things that don't work.
It's been a whirlwind. Let's start with today. We had some folks walk out and protest before the Prime Minister of Israel spoke. Do we know what nations walked out?
I think a lot. I don't have the list, but it was close to only a few that were left in the room.
Oh wow, really?
And, yeah, it was a lot of them.
So I've been watching on the television monitor, but I didn't get many crowd shots. I just saw the Prime Minister. So fair to say a majority of the delegations walked out?
Yeah, I would say, the majority.
All right. So Prime Minister, I dipped in. He was speaking Hebrew for a moment. I assume he switched to English at some point. What did the Prime Minister have to say about Gaza, Hamas, the war in general?
Well, it was interesting because he started talking about the hostages, and there had been and still is quite a PR campaign around New York with trucks and buses talking about, with signs on them about the hostages, because the idea here is let's make that the priority. And the GA has passed a resolution calling for the release of the hostages. It's the Security Council that hasn't done that, or condemning Hamas. But the idea here is whatever else has to happen, the hostages have to be out. And several hostage families were in the room. Ruby Hen with Ty the son, and several others. And when there was a sort of a pop quiz, which of these are terrorists that are attacking Israel with Hezbollah and with Hamas? And the answer was all of the above. The hostages and other guests of Israel yelled out all of the above. So there was a little bit, there certainly was support on both sides in terms of in the actual room. But what he first said was the hostages. Second was that Israel plans to finish the job of eliminating Hamas. And this coordinates with the fact that President Trump is saying it's very close to a Gaza deal. The deal is one that President Trump has proposed, and Steve Witkoff, his aide, and Macron has a separate deal, but they both have, the U.S. one is 21 points, bring the hostages home, ceasefire, end the war, no Hamas, and some kind of a force with a clear military force, with Indonesia already stepping up on that, and a clear path to Palestinian statehood, but no annexation. And so all of that came out in his speech. He talked about Lebanon. He talked about Iran. But I think the most interesting change to me was that he really slammed the Palestinian Authority. And all of these peace proposals talk about get rid of Hamas, maybe some kind of a transition group of Arab states for Gaza, but eventually a reformed Palestinian Authority would run the show. And for him to say, look, the Palestinian Authority has not done anything, you said they'd reform, yeah, right, were his words. So I think that puts a lot into question about the whole question of what comes next. Is there a peace plan that President Trump's talking about?
Pamela Falk joining us live at the United Nations here on the Mark Arum Show. Is Prime Minister Netanyahu the last big name, quote, speaker that we're going to hear this week?
Well, yes, we have, but not the only important one. Tomorrow is Putin doesn't come, but the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov comes.
Okay.
And yeah, that's a big one. And then there is some wrap up Monday with Afghanistan and some other countries that are pretty key to the international arena. But this was the last major one because he had to come after the Jewish holidays.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so I need to follow up. A couple of follow-up questions. Escalators and teleprompter back working?
Yes, escalator gate and teleprompter gate are over. And there seems to be some kind of a White House investigation into those two things, and then the audio. And the UN is taking blame for the audio problems because no one could hear him in English, President Trump, that is. And then if you were listening on the translation, which I only listened to afterward because I was there listening live, you heard it turn into Portuguese. So they're taking credit for that, blame for that. But they're saying it was the White House that was involved with the escalator, and the White House monitors the president's teleprompter. But all of it is sort of a bit of a black eye for the Secret Service, because either way, it's not a good sign. So I think we'll hear a little bit more about that. But anyone who's been here knows that a lot of things don't work.
All right, so after this wraps up, I'm envisioning world leaders going out for dinner at like Peter Luger Steakhouse and enjoying, the nightlife in New York. Is that what happens after the big speeches at the General Assembly?
That usually happens during it.
Okay.
In fact, they've all been having these dinners and meetings and side events. And when President Trump was here, he met with the Gulf Arab states and talked to them about this peace plan. And then they have a meal, and so all of those things happen pretty much during and by, even though there are some wrap-up sessions on Monday, because it goes by rank, so those are lower level. In other words, except for Netanyahu, the later ones, it goes by head of state, head of government, ministers, and so Monday is a wrap-up for other countries, but they go out during and then booted out of town. So and then we all sleep.
Well, you deserve it, Pamela. I mean, truly an invaluable resource, 25 years covering the United Nations. It's been an honor to have you on this week with us. So thank you so
Mark,
much.
You know I'm a big fan of the show. Okay.
I appreciate it. And when I do come to New York, Peter Luger's on me, my friend.
Oh, yes, and the bowels of the UN tour is on me.
Excellent. Awesome. Pamela Falk at the UN. Great stuff this week. A lot of big headlines at the United Nations. The big headline here on the show is we were not able to give away those Andrea Bocelli tickets, but we can now. All right, there was something there's the phones. All right, we're 40th caller still. All right, 40th caller, Vin, 404-872-0750. 40th caller to 404-872-0750 wins a pair of tickets to see Andrea Bocelli. Gas South Arena, October 11th, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show and WSB. The ghost has been in the machine today, my friends. I apologize, but we'll get those tickets straightened out. And I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K Day bonus blitz after the new news. First and foremost, though, let's check the Friday ride with Alex Williams.
Still watching the brake light battle between Marietta and Kennesaw, Mark, with that right lane construction, 75 North, Chastain Road, exit 271. Best alternate right now is Highway 41 because the express lanes are not ported northbound thus far. If you're traveling downtown, 7585 southbound, tapping the brake pedal, 17th Street down toward North Avenue, and checking on a new slow zone on the east side, 285 southbound, the inner loop right around Glenwood Road, exit 44. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
WSB is your home of the dog.
Lobs it up, caught by Humphrey.
Tune in Saturday as number 5 Georgia faces off with the 17th ranked Crimson Tide.
30, 20, far sideline, 10.
Bulldogs pregame begins at 3:30.
Sideline.
Kickoff at 7:30.
Pylon.
Only on your home of the dogs, 95.5 WSB.
Touchdown! Touchdown!
Brought to you in part by Hoffman Financial Group, official partner of the Georgia Bulldogs.
Hey, if you're bringing some friends over to tailgate this fall or cook out or having the family for Thanksgiving later, do what I've just done and call Wise Guys Pro Wash. They've gotten my house and driveway, my patio spotless, even the wooden gates out back. They even cleaned the roof, and I didn't even have to be there. The crew used the top equipment in the industry in their soft wash and kept my home safe and damage-free. You call them. First-time customers mention my name, Chris Chandler, and book now to get $70 off your first wash at wiseguysprowash.com.
At Jape Services, family isn't just a slogan, it's how we do business.
Our family has been helping homeowners with their heating and cooling since 1978.
And now, we're riding along just like our dad did when he was 14.
And today, we're here to help your family stay cool and comfortable. If your AC is struggling, call Jape Services for honest pricing, expert heating and cooling repair, or replacement.
Decades of experience, Family-run values, service you can trust.
Let our family take care of your family.
Jape Services.
Another accident? What happened?
Our truck driver got cut off, and they're getting blamed. No witnesses, no proof, and insurance is skyrocketing.
Wait, our drivers shouldn't take the blame for this?
Exactly why we need Samsara. Their AI dashcam show real-time video proving when our drivers aren't at fault.
So we protect our drivers and avoid false claims?
Yep. Companies using Samsara have exonerated their drivers and saved millions on insurance.
Protect your drivers and your bottom line at Samsara.com. Samsara. Operate smarter.
For many of you, it's happening. Your hair's thinning, your crown's disappearing, and maybe hair loss has you feeling your identity is lost altogether. Well, I got good news. It's Advanced Hair's incredible yet simple one-day treatment that starts regrowing your own natural hair the very next day, and it's guaranteed to grow for life. It's Mark Arum back with you. We've all seen the pills and lotions that come with monthly subscriptions. They help retain what you have, but what about regrowing your hair permanently in specific areas? From Advanced Hair's state-of-the-art facilities to their world-class physicians, it's not maybe your hair will regrow, it's guaranteed that your new hair will grow. You decide how much, how thick, and where. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, and I've seen their results, friends. For your free consultation, $250 off and 250 free hair grafts, call 470-660-HAIR. That's 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
Imagine pulling up the driveway to your beautiful new garage door, energy-efficient windows, and stunning double front door. It feels like a new home, but you didn't have to move. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows, with lots of exciting ways to refresh your home. For every opening to your home, we've got you covered with countless quality options backed by unparalleled service and craftsmanship. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're a different kind of wireless company dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Because let's face it, our needs are different. Big wireless unlimited plans are designed for 20-somethings, not us. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on one thing, bringing you affordable, reliable rate plans that suit your needs, not ours. How do we do that? We start by using the same towers as the big guys, the exact same towers. We then create rate plans designed for your usage. The fact is, we can offer you an unlimited plan with the same network quality for less because we understand how you use wireless services. Our plans start at just $20 a month. And forget trying to chat with robots. You'll get 100% US-based award-winning customer service when you need help. Come find out how wireless should be and join the millions who've made the switch.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto-pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
I'm not satisfied as an American with the progress that we're making. This is a great country, but I think it could be a greater country.
We have the record of the Truman administration of 7.5 years and the 7.5 years of the Eisenhower administration. When we compare these two records, I think we find that America has been moving ahead.
65 years ago today, the first voice you heard, John F. Kennedy II, Vice President Richard Nixon. It was the first of the Kennedy-Nixon debates broadcast live from Chicago on this date in 1960, 65 years ago today. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Congrats to Scott in Woodstock. He was the 40th caller. Sorry, Vin. Punishment fits the crime, Longoria. Punishment fits the crime. He won a pair of tickets to see Andrea Bocelli. Keyword in the 5K day bonus splits coming right up after the new news here on 95.5 WSB. All my pictures from the Punchline are up now on social media. The Children's Healthcare of Atlanta WSB Carathon event. Jeff Foxworthy, amazing. Thank you so much for your time. Speaking of comedy, some top American stand-up comics facing backlash for taking part in Saudi Arabia's Riyadh Comedy Festival. The star-studded event kicks off today, and critics say the Saudis are using it to deflect attention from their human rights record and the stigma of the majority of the hijackers in the 9/11 attacks being Saudi nationals. One of the comedians performing this weekend, Pete Davidson, ABC's Elizabeth Schultz with more.
Davidson, whose father was a New York firefighter killed on 9/11, defended his decision to participate.
I've been getting a little bit of flack just because, my dad died 9/11, so they're like, how could you possibly go there? I just, I get the routing, and then I see the number, and I go, I'll go.
Comedian Shane Gillis says he turned down the gig, despite an offer to double his paycheck.
I took a principled stand.
But others are cashing in. One comedian claiming top acts are earning up to $1.6 million.
I was like, I'm going to turn it. But I mean, Davidson, his dad was killed in 9/11, and he's.
I follow a lot of comedy podcasts,
Yeah.
and there's a whole bunch of them that are going.
It's like that LIV golf thing.
And
Anyway,
when money talks sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. By the way, I was not paid yesterday for my 5 minutes of crappy stand-up yesterday. That was on the house. That was a freebie for the kids.
Longoria's fact of the day.
All right, it has to be the best day ever. It's National Pancake Day.
Hey-o!
And the biggest pancake on record, recognized by the Guinness World Records, weighed nearly 3 tons, 6,614 pounds, and measured over 49 feet in diameter. And in 2010, a record was set in New York City, for the highest pancake toss, reaching a height of over 31 feet.
Too early for flapjacks?
Heck no.
Do you know what movie that's from?
No.
Groundhog Day.
No.
Too early for I love that line. All right, in the Longoria household, who makes the pancakes? You or Leslie?
Oh, Leslie.
Leslie makes
the
pancakes.
We have that little shaker thing that comes
I've
already
seen
pre-made.
that.
You just add water and
boom. My mom would make the pancakes, but once a year, my dad would make buckwheat pancakes.
Okay.
That's the only time I
Never
remember
had
my dad cooking. Well, he would make toast and cheese for me at breakfast in the morning.
Right.
But he'd make his famous buckwheat pancakes. I don't know if you folks are still canceling Cracker Barrel, but I believe today at Cracker Barrel it's $5 all you can eat pancakes. So, yeah, I mean, they kept the logo, and it's $5 for all you can eat pancakes. So $5 is $5.
And now, are you guys ready for the Mark Aram Star of the Show?
Health reporter Sabrina Cupid said, take it easy on the all-you-can-eat pancakes today, though. Stay healthy. Stars of the show. It's not me. It's not Vinny. I can tell you that much. It's not Vinny. It's not me. It's Longo. Boom. Longo, the only one that didn't fall on his face today. We had amazing guests as well. Emma Hunt from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, legal analyst Thane Rosenbaum, Aaron Navarro live in D.C., political analyst Bill Crane, White House correspondent Jan Decker, and star of the show, our friend from the DOT, Natalie Dale. Today's her birthday. Happy birthday, Nat. You're star of the show. All right, I'm on social media after I take a long, long nap, at Mark Aram. 5K day bonus splits coming up in just a second. Stay safe. Have a great Friday, Atlanta.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
WSB consumer expert Clark Howard, sponsored by Ragsdale Heating, Air, Plumbing, and Electrical.
Most people flying check bags, and they rip off the tag after they've claimed their bag and throw it away. Well, it turns out that baggage tag has a lot of information that a crook can pretend to be you, say that the bag never showed up, and file a claim for money from the airline pretending to be you. So don't throw those bag tags away right away. Throw them away at a safe place like when you get home.
Well, they said it was fixed, but was it? When TE Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling say it's fixed, it's really fixed. That's part of how they love your home. Hey, it's Chris Chandler, and these are the folks I trust in my home because of their attention to detail, expertise, and a job done right the first time. And to back it up, TE Certified offers a lifetime workmanship warranty.
TE Certified, we love your home.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 12 o'clock on this Friday, September 26th. Good afternoon. I'm Sabrina Cupid. The news here at noon is sponsored by Jim Ellis Automotive, and our top local story. Atlanta police arrest a suspect in connection with a deadly early morning stabbing at a Cobb County motel.
Police have charged 46-year-old Frank Moore with felony murder, aggravated assault, and possession of a knife during the commission of a felony. Cobb police were called to the Budgetel Inn on Circle 75 Parkway just after midnight to reports of a stabbing. They found two victims, Amatrian Hawkins, who had multiple stab wounds and later died at a local hospital, and Janiyah Jenkins, who is listed in stable condition after being treated for severe lacerations to her hand. Detectives say the victims knew the suspect. The investigation is ongoing. In Cobb County, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
All right, if you're hopping in the car for lunch, your weather for today: cloudy with on and off rain showers possible, a few thunderstorms also possible, and a high of 80. How's your weekend looking? We'll have Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up at 12:05 with WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Police in Roswell arrest a 29-year-old man who's accused of killing his father. Tristan Donnell is facing murder charges in the shooting death of 56-year-old Gary Clark. The shooting happened yesterday morning at the Rosemont Apartments. We were telling you about it. The two had been fighting before that shooting. Donnell is being held at the Fulton County Jail. The juries had some questions during the deliberations at the Fulton County trial of an alleged gang member accused of murdering an 8-year-old girl in southwest Atlanta.
Julian Conley's jury has asked twice to view videos from the night Sequoia Turner was killed on July 4th, 2020. Atlanta police found 4 different camera angles from 3 businesses, a BP gas station, a warehouse, and a package store. And they've pointed out the muzzle flashes they say came from Conley's gun as Sequoia's Jeep drove by.
And WSB's Veronica Waters reports the jury started deliberations late. This afternoon. A former Gainesville high school teacher, Friday afternoon, I should say. A former Gainesville high school teacher and golf coach is indicted on sex charges involving several students. Cameron Milholland, accused of sending sexually explicit images and videos to 3 students. He's indicted on charges of child molestation, computer pornography, and 3 counts of improper sexual conduct by an employee. All right, if you want to get your flu shot this weekend, it'll be easy to do in DeKalb County. They're offering drive-through flu shots.
DeKalb Public Health is inviting all to their drive-through vaccine event. Interim Director Dr. Lynn Paxton says there are options for everyone regardless of health insurance to get the flu vaccine.
If you're not insured or your plan isn't fully to cover the cost, it is available at this event for a very low cost. So we still want people to come out and get vaccinated against the flu.
Registration is not required for this event at the Lou Walker Senior Center in Lithonia. Mary Ryan Howarth, 95.5 WSB.
From flu to COVID now, many people who caught COVID now have a weaker sense of smell, and they may not even know it. A new study from NYU tested COVID patients and finds 2/3 of people who did not report any problems with their sense of smell still scored low on smell test. Researchers say the number of people with a diminished sense of smell may be much higher than previously thought from COVID. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy announcing an emergency rule restricting who can get a license to drive a big rig. U.S. non-citizens are being restricted.
The process for issuing these licenses is absolutely 100% broken. It has become a threat to public safety, and it is a national emergency that requires action right now.
Now, the new rules will require an employment-based visa and mandatory federal immigration status check. Nearly 200,000 BMWs are under recall today because of a fire risk. The Traffic Safety Administration saying that there's a potential for a short circuit in their starters. This recall includes 2019 through 2021 330i's, the 2019 through 2022 Z4, 530i, and the X models of BMWs. Some Toyota Supras are also included. The model years for that would be 2021 and 2022. Researchers at Georgia State University are launching a new effort to see if there is life out there. Stuart Jeffries, professor at Georgia State, says they're making a new telescope. It's called ELF.
It's going to be a telescope with one job, and its job's going to be finding life beyond Earth.
And this way of looking for life is different. He says it uses sight rather than sound waves to search for life.
It's not really much of a stretch to imagine that there may be tiny life forms elsewhere, maybe on Mars, maybe under the icy crust of Jupiter.
He says he thinks that they will find something, most likely, though, tiny microbes, but he says you never know. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is up 155 at 46,102. NASDAQ is down, and the S&P is up slightly. It's 12:05. Time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams has a look at your roads.
Travel advisory in Clayton County now. Sabrina, crash 2 left lanes, 75 northbound, just before Terra Boulevard, exit 235. You're slow back through Morrow. Use Highway 1941, Highway 54, or 675 north as alternates. Also still jammed up through Marietta into Kennesaw with that right lane construction. 75 northbound at Chastain Road. Delays from South Marietta Parkway. You can use Highway 41. Cobb Parkway as your alternate. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
And it's time now for your 5-day forecast, sponsored by Shoemate, the official plumber of Atlanta. Here's WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Partly to mostly cloudy for this afternoon, heating up to a high of 80. Scattered rain showers and thunderstorms developing with the heat and humidity. Some of these storms may produce heavy downpours through this afternoon and this evening. Lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy skies. A few pop-up showers and thunderstorms can't be ruled out. Tomorrow's high is 81. Sunday, partly cloudy. Morning low 64. Afternoon high 83. Monday and Tuesday, partly cloudy skies. Morning lows in the mid-60s. Daytime highs in the upper 70s to low 80s.
It is 78 degrees right now in Duluth and Jonesboro. Here in Midtown Atlanta, we have 79 degrees. We'll have more news at 12:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Okay, friends, it's the 5K a day bonus blitz. Your noon keyword is mood, M-O-O-D, mood. Enter the keyword mood into the WSB Radio app or at WSBradio.com/cash. You have until 12:30 p.m. to enter the keyword, win $1,000. The keyword is mood, M-O-O-D. Don't forget, if you get a phone call after 12:30 from a number you don't recognize, answer it. Could be us telling you you won $1,000. The keyword is mood, M-O-O-D, mood. Good luck.
Hello, America. Welcome. It's an open line Friday here at the Eric Erickson Show across the nation. The phone number is 877, actually. 877-973-7425. The Europeans currently are winning the Ryder Cup. It's not going well for the American team. I got the TV on. There's President Trump. He just showed up. He did a flyby with Air Force One earlier, rallying the crowd. Absolutely, that man's going to see the Ryder Cup. What an incredible thing. It is the Europeans versus the Americans there at the Ryder Cup. Now, way more engaged than Joe Biden could be there on the stage. So I got to begin with the James Comey indictment. There are a lot of people on the left screaming, oh no, this is terrible. How dare you do this? You know, I don't particularly care for Mike Flynn, but you know why Mike Flynn was indicted? Mike Flynn was indicted allegedly for lying to the FBI, and you know what the lie was about? It wasn't a material lie. Mike Flynn was, prior to the start of the Trump administration, the first term, communicating Donald Trump's desires for changes in national policy to the Russians in advance of of Trump taking over. And the Obama administration sent the FBI agents to try to grill him on what Donald Trump was doing, and it was none of their business. And they indicted Mike Flynn for lying to the FBI. Ultimately, the DOJ decided they couldn't pursue the case, and then Trump, didn't matter, pardoned him. Or there's Jeff Clark. Jeff Clark was a U.S. attorney in the Attorney General's office, Deputy Attorney General. Jeff Clark, provided advice to the president on how to proceed with his consideration of a stolen election, and he was frog-marched out of his house before sunup with FBI agents. He was arrested, harassed by the Biden administration. All he did was his job. There were the pro-lifers who prayed at abortion clinics, who had their doors kicked in the middle of the night, one of them a wheelchair-bound grandmother, because Joe Biden needed to placate the left. Oh, and you people on the left justify every single one of them, so I'm sorry. Stop telling me this has never been done before. You people have done it. You just don't know about it because CNN and MSNBC either shade the truth or don't tell you the truth. They lie to you, and you believe the lie. Yeah, I'm not saying two wrongs make a right, but the James Comey case is extremely straightforward. James Comey testified that he was neither the source of nor authorized the leaking to the press information related to Donald Trump and the investigation of the Russian involvement in the election. You got that? This is a very simple cut and dry case. James Comey testified under oath that he did not leak nor authorize leaks about the Donald Trump investigation. But Andrew McCabe testified under oath to Congress that James Comey directed him to leak. So either Andrew McCabe lied or James Comey lied. And they were under oath. And you know the reaction from some of the elite in Washington is, we shouldn't indict people for lying to Congress. This is the same people who said you shouldn't indict people for fraudulently filling out their mortgage applications. Lisa Cook. There really is this progressive white view, and it's not even really progressives. It's just the white elite saying, we shouldn't indict people for lying on their mortgage application. We shouldn't indict people for lying to Congress. It's the elites in this country who don't want the same standard applied to them that's applied to everyone else. This is a very straightforward case. Either James Comey lied to Congress under oath or Andrew McCabe lied to Congress under oath. And you people just indicted a whole lot of people with January 6th related to what they said or didn't say to Congress. It's not a two wrongs make a right thing. It's the right playing by your rules, Democrats. You're the ones who set the rules. And what you've always thought is, if the Republicans take power, they won't play the game the way we play the game. And guess what? Donald Trump is playing the game the way you play the game, and you don't like it. You started it, and this is, again, a very simple case. It is a genuinely very simple case, and what's notable is Catherine Herridge, a very good reporter, says that essentially the current U.S. attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, Eric Siebert, had been dragging his feet trying to get to the statute of limitations so there could be no indictment. Now, here's the thing we know. Kash Patel declassified the FBI leak investigation. It was codenamed Arctic Haze. The documentation revealed that James Comey authorized media leaks, including one involving classified information, through his FBI subordinates or through his Columbia Law School professor, Reitman, with special government employee status. It's actually been well documented for some time that James Comey did the leaking to sabotage the Trump administration. You can say it's a nothing burger, but you know and I know the Democrats have used the Department of Justice to harass conservatives. They've used the IRS to go after conservatives. They've used every tool within government to target their conservative opponents. And you guys have never seen Republicans do it before. But even more importantly, James Comey lied to Congress under oath. If you or I lied under oath, we would get indicted. Why should the powerful and the elite not get indicted for something you or I would get indicted for? If James Comey didn't lie, Andrew McCabe is the one who lied. Now, there are a couple problems for the Trump administration. One of which is the president can't bring himself to shut up about it and has been tweeting. And that's a problem. Eli Honig, who at CNN has been one of the loud voices talking about the abuse of indictments against Donald Trump. Well, this is him.
Justifiable reluctance within DOJ right now.
President Trump's been very public about wanting this case against Comey and others to be brought. There was this Truth Social post where he named Comey directly and called him and New York Attorney General Letitia James and Senator Adam Schiff, quote, all guilty as hell. That was just a few days ago. Could those, if the case was brought forward, could those comments impact the case?
100% yes. All of those comments, I promise you, are going in Jim Comey's lawyer's file, because what they're going to do if he's indicted is very quickly, I think, make a motion to dismiss for selective prosecution. Now, that's a hard argument to make. It rarely succeeds, but that's because it's so hard to prove that there was some pressure coming from political outlets to charge this person for political reasons. But here, that Truth Social, I mean, it really doesn't get a whole lot clearer than that. So if this indictment does get through a grand jury, watch for that to be the next step.
It does get through a grand jury because it's so straightforward what he did. There are lots of people saying this is a nothing burger, and it's not a nothing burger. He lied under oath to Congress. I mean, you can spin this however you want to spin this, as this is a partisan witch hunt. And by the way, Eli Honig is right. If it is clear that partisan politics caused someone to be indicted, the judge can throw out the indictment. He's right. The president should have had no business tweeting. But there's another problem here as well. Pam Bondi is not a great attorney general, and she may have screwed up this case from the get-go. Why? Because acting Attorney General James McHenry appointed Eric Siebert as the interim U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia on January 21st, 2025. On May 6th, the president nominated Siebert to be the U.S. Attorney and advanced to the Senate floor. That's when Trump learned Siebert had told senior Justice Department officials investigators found sufficient evidence to bring charges against Letitia James and raised concerns about the case against Comey. So Siebert resigned as interim U.S. attorney, or Trump fired him. Trump says he didn't quit, I fired him. The question is, can the attorney general make a second interim appointment under the law when the first interim appointment has expired? The law suggests that the district court gets to appoint the interim attorney general. That's the position the Department of Justice adopted in 1986, written by a lawyer for the Department of Justice named Sam Alito. The Alito opinion suggests the Attorney General may not make successive interim appointments. Pam Bondi could have screwed this case up out of the gate, just with the handling of the interim U.S. Attorney being there or not. His term expired. The president then pushed him out the door when he refused to do these indictments, brought in the new U.S. Attorney, Lindsay Halligan. And the question is she a validly appointed U.S. Attorney? And actually, the precedent and timeline suggests she's not actually a valid U.S. Attorney. So she is the one who can't actually bring the indictment. Between that and the president's political tweets showing, or at least giving the appearance of this being a political prosecution, Comey could get out of this with nothing. I got to remind my friends here who want to engage in this sort of stuff that how you handle it matters. And if you come out of the gate looking like this is a partisan witch hunt, judges have discretion to throw the case out, even if the person may be guilty. You may not like that, but that actually works for you as well. It does work, and it benefits everybody, so that politicians are not singling you out for prosecution because they don't like you. The president should have never tweeted the way he tweeted with this pending indictment. Now, that gets back to the substance of the allegations, though. The FBI declassified its investigation into the leaks about Donald Trump. Remember, there were a series of leaks to the media about what the federal investigators had found relating to the ties between Donald Trump's campaign and the Russians. Now, much of it we know was politically motivated. Much of it we know wasn't real. But where did the leaks come from that seeded the narrative that the Russians stole the election to help Donald Trump and that Donald Trump was somehow in the pocket of the Russians? Where did all of that come from? It came from leaks that we now know James Comey authorized or made himself. And in the process of so doing, when testifying under oath to Congress, lied and said he had nothing to do with it. It was a lie under oath. We prosecute lies under oath. The Obama Justice Department prosecuted lies under oath. The Biden Justice Department prosecuted lies under oath. The double standard here is that progressives think that they themselves should not be prosecuted for lies under oath. Everybody else gets to be prosecuted for lying under oath, but progressives don't. James Comey lied to Congress. We have the evidence, we have the goods, we have the receipts, we have the members of the FBI, including Andrew McCabe, who's now on CNN, saying under oath himself that James Comey authorized the leaks. James Comey thinks that he is above the law. He is not above the law. He's a clown who hated Donald Trump and engaged in partisan machinations, and now justice is coming for James Comey, and he's squealing about it. The problem is not the prosecution because it's deserved. The problem is the bungling of the Trump Justice Department may get the case thrown out, along with the president's tweets.
Have something to say? Hello. Call the show. 1-877-97-ERIC. That's 1-877-973-7425.
1220 Cool Day Carrier, WSB 24-hour traffic center. Crash cleared in Clayton County, 75 northbound, Terra Boulevard, exit 235. Everything is back open there. Still jammed up through Kennesaw, right lane construction, 75 north at Chastain Road. An earlier bus crash from this morning, still blocking South Atlanta Street, Highway 9 near Riverside Drive in Roswell. Traffic brought to you by Whole Foods Market. Boost your day at Whole Foods Market. Get 30% off all packaged coffee with Prime through September 30th while supplies last. Shop in store or online. Terms apply. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
Okay, friends, it's the 5K a day bonus blitz. Your noon keyword is mood, M-O-O-D, mood. Enter the keyword mood into the WSB Radio app or at WSBradio.com/cash. You have until 12:30 p.m. to enter the keyword, win $1,000. The keyword is mood, M-O-O-D. Don't forget, if you get a phone call after 12:30 from a number you don't recognize, answer it. Could be us telling you you won $1,000. The keyword is mood, M-O-O-D, mood. Good luck.
The Love Your Home Minute from TE Certified. Hi, it's Chris Chandler with Josh, the local owner of TE Certified Electrical, Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. You know Josh. That's him you see jumping out of the back of their trucks. Josh, welcome back. Tell me something unique you've had at your home that's not top of mind for maybe the rest of us.
It's my whole home generator. This is one of my favorite things. I forget I have it until the power goes out, and then all of a sudden I have internet, I have TV, I have a refrigerator, I can open my garage door, my pool pump runs, I have heat in the winter, I have cooling during the summer. We've put in tons of these for people that have medical equipment, they have refrigerators, they have freezers, they have aquariums, they have pools, even people with wine chillers. But most importantly, we put them in for people who don't want to be in the dark when the power goes out.
We've had every kind of weather this past few months, and in the newsroom, we know the biggest problem here when this happens is the power outages.
Your power goes out and you lose everything.
Great insights, Josh. I just added a whole home generator to my wish list.
TE certified, we love your home.
Truett Cathy used to say, how do you know if someone needs encouragement? If they're breathing. Everyone needs to be encouraged. Let's make a real effort today to encourage everyone we can. Not only will you be making more of an impact than you realize, you'll be more impacted than you might guess. Let's go. Encourage people today. This is Tom Gray, thanking Hardy Chevrolet GMC for their support.
We love you and we need you.
ThisStuffMatters.net.
This is Scott Slade, updating my health story. I get a checkup every year, and last September, my primary care physician was troubled by a suspicious number on my lab work. Well, that led to a diagnosis early enough to give me options, and I'm more optimistic than ever about a good outcome. Now, when we're talking about our health, level with your providers if you think you have a problem. We all need expert eyes looking us over every so often. That's where virtual imaging can be invaluable. Virtual Imaging's LDCT body scan can give you time and options for early treatment, especially for cancer. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. For a limited time, Virtual Imaging's extending their core body scan offer for only $995 per scan. That's a $2,495 value. Early detection